살아가는데 꿈은 이뤄지는 게 아니라 꾸는 거라 생각하며 살아왔지. 아무것도 아닌 나에겐 누가 말해줬지. 진짜 원하면 언젠간 되지. 말만 잘하는 사람이 되기 싫어. 진짜 잘해. 이제 나도 할래. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘. Sometimes I don't know what to do. Am I doing it right? 마냥 나이만 먹어가는 걸까? 다 잘하는 사람이 되고 싶어. 똑같이 하는 건 재미가 없잖아. 아무것도 아닌 나에겐 누가 말해줬지. 진짜 원하면 언젠간 되지. 말만 잘하는 사람이 되기 싫어. 진짜 잘해. 이제 나도 할래. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. Gonna be a legend. Gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘. 믿어볼래. 이젠 해낼 수 있어. 믿어볼래. 이젠 해낼 수 있어. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘.
From 78 teams in day one, there are 16 teams left here on day two in the $600 Paradise Cup 5. This is day two, the Swiss bracket action. I'm Sporty FC. Joining me here is RL Fox. On production is Nick NCS Fox. The tournament's only gone bigger. Today starts the best of sevens and the top echelon of our competition. We're going to now start to separate the great teams from the good teams, or really more rather, the best teams from the great teams.
It's quite an event. Shout out to our sponsors for helping us make this event. We got Nameless, we got Cross Progression League as well. It's going to be an awesome event. As we get further in the event, Sporty, you start to wean out the competition. There's a lot less places to hide as we start to get some of the better players up towards that upper echelon. And, this format, it's a little bit different. It's not just standard 3v3 the whole way. Something called crew battles. And I know most of our audience probably knows what crew battles are, but just in case they don't, Sporty, what the heck is this format and why'd you choose it?
What's a little different today, because today is also the best of sevens, so we didn't get to see any of those yesterday, but Crew Battles is an interesting format. It's a format that tests your team's ability in all three major game modes, 3v3, 2v2, and 1v1. The simple thing to think about it is, all the odd games are 3v3 in this format. All the even games are 1s or 2s. I'll keep talking about it, I guess, as well here. The way that it works is that Game 2, loser of Game 1 picks between 1s or 2s. Game 4 is the opposite game mode. And Game 6, loser of Game 5 picks. So it's a format where you're going to see it. And if you're confused by our formats, don't worry. Once we get into a series, it'll all kind of come to you a bit more naturally here. But these teams have already had to play a day of crew battles. They've had to qualify through a 78-team double elimination qualifier. Our biggest tournament before this event was 34 teams. So we've doubled the number of teams playing. So simply put, a lot of people want to compete today, though. It's top 16, a Swiss bracket action. 2 wins, you're in the top 8. 2 losses, and your tournament will be over tonight in just a few hours. Before we get into our matchup here, before we talk about these teams, let's talk about the teams that even made it through here. There's 16 teams left. We're going to take a look at our Swiss brackets as they stand. I think starting with Group A here, if we can, for Swiss action. Again, 8 teams here. It's G7 Thriller, the number 1 seed, Ouroboros, YouTube Shorts FC, Saddam Crime, CMZ, QAP, Closed Captions, and SSB. The big surprise, I think, for a lot of people is Saddam Crime making it through the upper bracket. They're the NTX Esports number 2 team. It's a team with Anoxy on it and a couple other NTX regulars, but they've made it through. We'll now go to Group B here and show you the other 8 teams playing as well, including the first match we're going to see in just a few moments. But the 8 teams here in Group B looking to make it to tomorrow is going to be from top to bottom. It is Prime, Ddop, NTX Esports, Desire, CityBoyyyyJJ, Div1, Houston Spartans, Synesthesia, and Bunny Girl Sent By here. Our first match today, NTX Esports versus Houston Spartans. These teams have played each other before. They've got RLCS experience, but Fox, it's round 1 of Swiss. The best of sevens begin, and we've already started with a banger. 2 of the big orgs in this tournament, NTX Esports, Houston Spartans competing. And now we just get to see who's going to play well, and who's going to show up in a format that is as intensive and as thought-provoking as crew battles.
Absolutely. I mean, you've got 2 high end in terms of talent, high end in terms of entertainment series right now. And not only do you get to see the 3v3, you get to see how the 2 teams shape up as a cohesive unit. You also get to see 2s, which I know a lot of pros, they do say that 2s is the match to get better. That's how you improve. That is how to play Rocket League at its highest. And then there's also 1s where you don't have anywhere to hide. It is just you. And, with 1s, not only do you have your team watching, the opponents are watching, and also you have the entire stream watching. So lots of pressure, lots to look forward to here tonight. Let's kick off Game 1. Standard 3v3 on the table. Let's get it on.
And we've started with a disconnect here. Seems like we had a disconnect issue, so we'll quickly see what the players are up to here, but it's NTX Esports versus Houston Spartans. Yeah, we had a disconnect here, so we're going to quickly pause things and get things set up again. Seems like not all the players were fully ready there, Fox. We'll blame Nick on that one, our producer. I think he jumped a little early. I don't think everybody was here, but we're moments away from getting this thing. And NTX Esports are an interesting org in this matchup, mostly because they have 2 teams that have made it to the top 16. They're both in this group, the other one being Son I'm Crying right now. Again, they're playing against SSB. That is on Stream on Twitch if you want to go see it. All matches today are being streamed, so we have 8 streams running today. That's a lot. I know, we had 8 streams running yesterday. We have 8 streams running today. A lot of people coming back again. It's us here on the main stream. You want to see all the action? You just need to stay around here. We will show you everything that's happening today, all the teams that make it to the top 8, and all the teams that progress through the top 8 tomorrow towards eventually our $600 championship here. But again, we're not the only ones live. All the other matches being streamed as well. I'm looking forward to this here because we're going to get to see really some separation between these teams. These teams haven't played each other all that much. A lot of these teams have, but a lot of these teams haven't. A lot of these teams, you know, haven't played each other. None of these teams are having rematches in round one. So the real question coming into this, I guess, tournament and into this Swiss bracket is kind of now how do you further separate yourself from the rest of the teams? And the mode to do it is going to be 3v3 as we are going into game one here. This is the mode that if you want to separate yourself, this is the mode you do it in, is 3v3. You play more of this than any other mode in this series. So if there's any mode you want to be good at, it's 3v3. And you have to imagine in a match like this, NTX Esports on the blue, they're the favorites.
Absolutely, and not to be discredited, the orange rocking the Houston Spartans in this matchup as the 3v3s do get kicked off. And as you said, you know, every single crew battles format that does get played, the majority of every series, no matter what, is going to be 3v3. So you really want to excel as this, you want to mesh as a team, you want to try and put your foot down and put the pressure on those 2v2, those 1v1 situations a little bit later down the line. Because if you end up in ones and the series is on the line, you're not going to be too terribly feeling good. But Sith is feeling pretty good after that one. The loose ball jumps out to him, and it's 1-0, just like that, Houston Spartans.
Yeah, great setup there from Suwafi, able to play things out to Civ, able to get the Houston Spartans on the board in the front post. And it's so often in matchups like these, the first round in a tournament like this, where you need that kind of time to warm up. You mentioned as well how 2s and 1s so often seems to be kind of that ability to bounce back in a series, the game modes that you bounce back in. It's the 3s mode, though, that you can really dominate a series if you are good at here. And of course, for NTX Esports, they need to find a way back in this one. They didn't get to play with that with Plexi yesterday. They had Zaf as their sub playing yesterday, so they're trying to get back into kind of getting used to each other. They remember talking with Anoxity yesterday about his team's performance, and he mentioned how his team struggled yesterday in the 3v3 mode because they didn't have that chemistry with Zaf, because they didn't understand each other. So I remember, and actually he talked to me about how confident he is in NTX Esports, in this team's ability to play well in 3s. This team has had RLCS runs together. They've made pushes to the top 32 together as well. So they've experienced, another thing they're going to have experience in is going to be 1s and 2s. These are, all 3 of these players, really, really good 1v1 players. I've seen all of them play 1v1. They're all very good at 1s as well. I've seen them all win matches in 1s as well, and in 2s is not going to be too bad for them. So this is a team in NTX that is very much multifaceted. Every single mode they're going to be a threat in, not just 3v3.
Indeed, it's got to feel pretty good if you are a team that says, you know, we kind of struggled on day one with chemistry issues. You still made it through into the top 16. That's got to feel pretty good. And now at full power, you get to see what everybody's operating at. This one towards midfield, Sith once again sniffing around that goal, looking for another strike for the Spartans. Yoko's going to play this one right into danger. That one's towards the goal. It's wide, and then an accidental own goal there. Plexi's going to get credit for it. We are tied.
Here we are, 1-1 each. You said it as well, a little accidental own goal action, but you don't blame Sip in that position. He has to go for it. If he doesn't, it's going to be laying right in front of the net, easy for someone to take. A little panic early on from the Houston Spartans. And, you know, Fox, I've just noticed something. This is the Battle of Texas between these two teams. We have NTX, which is North Texas Esports, based out of Dallas-Fort Worth. And we've got the Houston Spartans, obviously, based out of Houston, Texas. So this is the Battle of Texas. I didn't even think about this. We totally didn't plan for this today, but honestly, to battle to see who controls all of Texas, I love that. And you know who's going to really love it? Anoxity. He's not going to get to watch this match. His team in Sun and Crime is playing right now, but I'm sure there's a little bit of extra in this matchup, at least for the people running these orgs, the people that are watching, to know that, you know, the winner of this, in theory, controls Texas. It's either Dallas or it's Houston, and that's an age-old rivalry that has lasted through sports, through tradition, through everything that Texas has had to offer.
You do say everything's bigger in Texas. We will have to see how that transpires as this series starts to age. A couple bumps being thrown by NTX, trying to get on the score sheet once again, as they do have a tied game in their hands after the gift of a goal off the deflection. This one's going to be 50 to cross, so Woofy is on the case trying to get that ball out of dodge. It is crunched back deep into Houston's territory. Yoko with plenty of room. Fade's going to be up, not quite in time to meet him. Double tap lined up, but Plexi, he said no, and that one will continue to play on. We head to midfield with under 2 minutes to go. This game very much up for grabs.
Yeah, it is, and it just feels like somebody needs to be a step-up player. I was actually going to mention Fade being it there! Well, he is the step-up player! What a strike from Fade! I just called out his name and he shows up. A flip reset double tap, one that Sif probably should have gotten to. But NTX Esports, very happy with that. They're up by 1 with 94 seconds to go.
I love that. And a little unconventional flip reset there as well. You don't normally see somebody flipping back across the ball. He did so to perfection, able to get that ball right where it needed to be, and the go-ahead goal Now for NTX, they've got about 90 seconds to defend this lead. This is their first lead of the series so far, as it was Houston striking first, and now they're going to strike again. Not quite, as Ddop will get to that one. That was a heavy shot by Yoko. Unfortunately for him, does get denied. So Woofy playing a little defense of his own. As the Spartans, we get to start trading, and now these two teams, they both scored. Sporty starting to feel like the nerves are starting to be eaten away a little bit. We're seeing some more open and fast-paced Rocket League being played than earlier in this game.
Well, you have to win at least one 3v3 game to take the series. Realistically, you want to win more than just one, though. You want to be the better team in 3v3. You think they would favor a team like NTX Esports, being such a team that's made deeper runs in RLCS, has had better performances, a team that is known in RLCS, has made runs into the top 32. But for the Houston Spartans, not a bad team in their own right. They're just looking for something late here, and time is running out for them. Will be pinched back. They've got the ball in their possession, at least for now. No, they don't. Pexi clears it away. Will be Sif. He's got a lot of room in the midfield to work with. The dribble taken away by Ddop. Yoko was up too high. Ddop's gonna push him out of the way, and Plexi takes insurance late. It was the Houston Spartans caught upfield. A play where Sif's trying to go for the 1v1, and well, against a team full of 1v1 players like NTX Esports, that is a risky move, and one that will end up falling very, very short. NTX Esports now must be absolutely happy about this, because not only are they in the lead, they've got a little bit of comfortability at the end of this game.
And not to be discouraged too terribly much, if you do drop game one, there is a small silver lining. You do get the choice for game two. This one's going to be a big shot down the field, handled by Yoko, but you get the choice whether you play twos or ones, and it looks like Houston is going to choose what our next format is, because NTX, with 3 unanswered goals, has claimed game one and first blood in the series belonging to NTX.
I have to imagine that Houston Spartans are going to pick 2v2. I would not want to play against NTX Esports in 1v1 at any point this series. You're trying to avoid that mode as much as you can. Just with all 3 of the players they have in that team, they're all very good at 1v1. They all can play that mode. They're all, I think, better in that mode than the Houston Spartans players are. So I would expect 2v2 from the Houston Spartans. We'll wait and find out here as we're going to go into game 2 momentarily. But all matches today are best of 7. As, yeah, there's the call. Yoko's going to call for 2v2. I'm not surprised from that. That's the mode that Houston Spartans are better at, and it's definitely the mode they have a better chance at winning. But now that they've lost a 3v3 game, even though they got to pick here, Houston Spartans, you know, part of it is also knowing that now have to come back, and that's what 2s and 1s, that's where these even games come into play, is they're sort of your catch-up games. You get the pick because you can catch up in the series. It would be an absolute tragedy if you lose this game after being able to choose what you want to go for.
Oh, they did say 1s after 2s. This is, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, we do have to get a choice on the board. They did say 2s, but now they're saying 1. So it looks like 1v1 is going to be the format for the next game, as they did say it was a mistype. So there you go, 1v1. That is a great way for whichever player is the singular 1v1 player to get his team back in the match. It does add a little bit of pressure, though, because obviously the fate of either a 2-0 deficit or a tied series is on your shoulders alone. But it looks like we do have Fade joining up for NTX. Looks like he's going to be taking on Swoofy here for Houston. Should be an exciting 1v1 format. Sporty, let's get into it. This is the beauty of crew battles. You go from 3s to 1s, and we are locked in for game 2.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that Swoofy's playing in the 1s mode. I think he's the only realistic option for the Houston Spartans, but I'm surprised they picked 1s. I think they are the weaker team in 1s in this series. So, because Fade himself is a very good 1s player. He's someone who's made deep runs in RLCS and in the 1v1 Open, so he's definitely someone who knows his way around the 1v1 game out, so I'm surprised NTX makes that choice. Sorry, I'm surprised Houston Spartans make that choice. I would have expected NTX to make that choice if they lost game 1. I'm surprised the Houston Spartans have made that choice themselves, but 1v1 here. Now that does mean, by the way, that in game 4 we will have the other players playing the 2v2 mode. It will be Ddop and Plexi versus Sif and Yoko. That's going to be a really good match, so that's nice to see. And I guess another fun thing about this format as well, because it's best of 7 as well, we're guaranteed to see every single game mode. Yesterday wasn't necessarily true. You weren't guaranteed to see all game modes. So if there was a game mode you liked out of 1s and 2s that you wanted to play, not always a guarantee to play that mode, but today you are. So really, you can't, if you have a weak mode, that's going to be exploited today. Fade will get goal 1 on the Houston Spartans here. We're a long way away from the end of this game, but if NTX Esports can just be consistent, I would expect them to go up 2-0 in the series.
That's a great play by Fade there, just using pure speed, out racing and making the defense quite literally fade into the night there from Swoofy. That shot also right over the defense, as Helpless in his net. Once Swiffy Fade ended up getting the boost there. That boost steal was so huge because with no boost and a shot this good, Sporty, your chances of saving that go from decent to pretty much slim to none.
Yeah, you said it as well. That was a boost steal that you saw Swiffy go all in on it. And because they didn't have the boost, they're also stuck in the corner. So not only do they not have boost, they don't even have the boost to recover. So they are not really in their net fully here. That's an overcommit from Fade. Should be a goal for Swiffy, and it will be. Well, Fade maybe getting a bit overconfident. He can't lose his confidence in this matchup here. Swiffy just gets a clean touch there. I'm sure Fade's gonna be disappointed to give up because it was a bit easy for Swiffy, but Swiffy doesn't mind. It's his goal.
Absolutely, every single goal in ones definitely counts, and this is a mode where you might fall down, behind 3 to 4 goals, but the way that ones is, and the type of beast that it is, as Fade's going to go for this flip reset, gets denied by Swiffy. But, you can score a bunch in quite short order here, so it's never exactly, until it gets to, the higher numbers, never can really count yourself or your opponent out of the match. So 2-1 right now is our scoreline, about 90 seconds gone. And our first 1v1 on the stream for today, it is Swiffy with the ball, trying to outmaneuver Fade there. The mental games do not work as Fade was just there in great position now, pickpocketing, stealing the ball, wide open goal. And the transition game right now is feeding both teams goals in this scenario.
Yeah, but it's feeding Fade a lot more here. Swiffy again going all in on a play with very little boost. And again getting caught out. NTX Esports, all that Fade's doing right now is just letting Swiffy outplay himself here. And I find this interesting as well. Remember how I mentioned that all of NTX Esports are good at ones? In the 1v1 open, Swiffy's going to score here, but in the 1v1 open, it was Fade who made it just outside the top 64, along with his teammate in Plexi. It was Ddop who made it inside the top 48. So all of them were not too far away from competing for a spot in the Twist bracket for the RLCS 1v1 Open for North America. So that's something to think about here. Swiffy, by the way, not in the top 128 for that tournament, so he's got a big hill to climb. 1v1, I think, is the mode where you see the least amount of upsets. So Swiffy, he's got a lot to do here. We've seen players make upsets happen in this mode, but that's not how you do it. Another overcommit here, and another play where he uses all of his boost, and Fade is more than happy to let Swiffy keep going for this because all that Swiffy is doing is just feeding him open nets.
Indeed, it's going to be another easy goal for Fade. I do respect the pogo attempt there by Swiffy. It was close. Unfortunately, when you go for that and it does not end up connecting, you do end up in a very tough spot, and that is exactly what we saw. Another kickoff, drops to Fade. He's got early boost, has a flip in his pocket, tries to get challenged by Swiffy, but Swiffy, again, not able to get the challenge. Fade, another flip reset, but a net that was kind of open, could have potentially shot there, went for the reset instead, and Swiffy will be able to collect it defensively, being chased and shadowed very well here by Fade. There's just no room, no boost. Swiffy's going to flick it, tries his luck, and wouldn't you know it, right over the defense, it's 4-3.
Yeah, he saw Fade on that play as well. He had a good eye of where Fade was going to be standing because he's so far from the side. Typically in this position, you'll see a lot of 1v1 defenders hide behind the ball. Hide behind it so that you don't know when they're going to jump. He could see him though, and that's a really well-placed flick as well, right over him. It's only a 1-goal difference here. Fade may hold the lead, but his lead has been disintegrating as this game's progressed. He'll try to make it 5-3. Easy play for Swiffy and a great recovery too. Their chance to work with. Fade's waiting. He's hiding behind the ball now. He's pre-jumped this one. Oh, he just got there in time. And the save actually bounced off the post, so Swiffy has to give him boost here. That means Fade can play a little bit longer defensively. 2 minutes to go now. Swiffy again, trying to fake it. Fade's got that touch. Swiffy's gonna take it back, and again, he doesn't pick up the boost on his way back there. So once more, it will be Fade who picks up the boost that Swiffy can't. Dribble. Reset. Swiffy is all in. All his boost used. An easy play for Fade as he shot it straight at him, and this should be a counter the other way. Fade taking his time. I thought he could have shot from that position. Swiffy was on no boost. He'll play the fake as well. That one is expertly timed. Well, you saw the fake the other way from Swiffy, but Fade is going to show you exactly how it's done.
Oh, I love the mind games going on right now, Sporty. Both ways we've seen players walking in on the net, 1v1 mono a mono. Will they flick it? Will they fake it? Will they challenge? You never know. In that scenario, Fade with a big boy low 50 will not get the boost in this scenario, so he will have to forego possession. Giving it to Swiffy. Now here he comes. Little carry. He's tried this a couple times. Big flick. Gets over the defense, but unfortunately also over the goal frame as well. So if he's going to try yet again, he needs a goal in a hurry here, trying to make a game out of this. Down by 2 goals. He's also going to be down a vehicle as he gets demoed. Fade now off the corner. It's a great play, and it's just too easy for Fade. After the demo, he created his own space, and with that, he walks it right into the net.
He said it as well, just walking it in. Fade just feels like the player's a little bit more collected right now in this one. His players are a lot stronger. He's not nearly so willing to give things away. He's definitely forcing... the difference here is that he's forcing Swappy into making decisions, into making tough decisions, and to making saves. A lot of Swappy's plays aren't really challenging Fade all too much. So if he's going to do anything to beat Fade, it has to come down to being able to challenge Fade and force him into making tough plays. So far, it feels like for Fade, it's been a little too easy for him, a little too weak from Swappy, and a little lack of creativity has really hurt him here inside the final minute. At this point, all that Fade needs to do is just keep the ball away from Swappy. He'll do it well here. Swappy has full boost, but he's gonna have to play defensively. It's not a great catch on the corner either. Fade will hold. Swappy, dribble, trying to get the flick. He ran out of his flip jump there. Will be Fade again. And he's again just gonna take away the time. The Houston Spartans, desperate for a win. This is the mode they feel better in at least, but Fade is gonna teach you not to test NTX Esports on 1v1. That goal might be the goal to end it.
And for me, it's Fade's resource management this game. It has been absolutely amazing. His boost control, his ability to be where he needs to be. You know, there's been a couple scenarios, a flick and another just loose possession off the backboard. Other than that, Fade's been in phenomenal position. He really hasn't given Swaffy all that much. He hasn't given him much boost, not a lot of space. Now Fade just kind of trying to eat away this clock. He's going to 50 it off, and that is going to do it here for the 1v1. So now, if you are the Houston Spartans, you know, not quite out of it just yet, but you do have a 3v3 and a 2v2 coming up, and desperate. You need at least one win if you want to continue this series in those next 2 games. We'll have to see if the Spartans can launch a comeback, because Fade has got his team up 2-0.
Reverse sweeps are so difficult in a format like this, and one of the big reasons why isn't even necessarily because it's hard to just get a reverse sweep in general. What's really tough about getting a reverse sweep in this kind of format is the fact that if you lose this game, and you have to win game 4 while being down, guess what? The team that's leading gets to pick game 5. So that's the situation that you find yourself in. And it is that if you don't win this game, then you have to allow your opponents to make the choice for game 5. And I would not be surprised if NTX Esports picks 1v1 again. So that's something to think about here for the Houston Spartans. If this is essentially a must-win game for them. They don't win this, then even if they do win game 4, they have to be the team that's able to they have to be the team that's able to withstand whatever mode NTX Esports feels better in.
Absolutely. It gets a little bit tougher later on in the series. If you do find yourself down and you win game 5, then all of a sudden the team that has the lead, they can just suddenly pick ones, like we just saw Fade have a great ones game there. They can pick ones again, and you're behind the 8 ball just like that. So it's really crucial now for NTX, or for Houston rather, to try and get under NTX's skin here. You've got a 3v3 game. It's all together as a team. You have to try and get yourself through and into a position where the 2v2 is for a tied series rather than to avoid the sweep. So game number 3, it is on the same map. That is okay. We did have a small blip in the party. No issues there, as we will get set and get ready. Here comes Fade right off the hop. Double tap straight down and in. Fade said, I'm warm for my ones game. How about I make an impact here?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's something I mentioned yesterday as well, and it's still true even here. Typically, after the 1v1 game, you're going to see 2 major changes. The player who won is going to have a huge boost of confidence. That's a really tough game mode to win, and it's one that is got a lot of momentum on it, a lot of pressures on you. You're the only player in the lobby as everybody else is watching you. So it's a tough game mode, but winning it, there's such a high from winning that game mode. Conversely, losing it, it's such a low because you've just sunk your team in a situation, especially considering that Houston Spartans picked that mode. You have to imagine coming into that match, Swaffy was going to feel rather confident for himself. Of course, it didn't end out that way, and that means, you know, I want to see how Swappy's going to be able to adapt to that. It's very tough to adapt after losing the 1v1 mode in a series like this. We need to see, is he going to be able to recover well? Is he going to be able to relax himself in this series? Is he going to be able to sort of forget about that 1v1 loss and move on from that? It's so tough to do, but it's going to be necessary. There's a long road to come here for the Houston Spartans if they are to make the comeback. And they're going to need Swaffy to do it. They're going to need his abilities to be able to stay in this series.
We're going to need some defense out of him here as he'll play in the corner. Gets over Fade there. They're used to meeting each other on the ball as they just played a fresh 1v1. This one's going to be deflected away from Ddop. Good play defensively, but the pressure for NTX right now is palpable. So Wuffy, thankfully for him, was already in a position to make that save, and now Houston trying to launch a counterattack. It's a bump on Plexi. He's going to open the door here in the corner, but collisions are going both ways as this ball will be finally thrown out to midfield. Ddop trying to set up Plexi. It's a corner bounce, no read there. Could have been an insane play, but instead Houston does get the clear. The opening 90 seconds once again belonging to NTX, courtesy of Fade. We have been saying his name a lot. Obviously, he did play the 1v1 game, but in the threes mode, he's been noticeable too.
Yeah, he has been. Fade's been such an integral player. I like that they chose him for the 1v1 mode and not someone like Ddop, just because of how good Ddop and Plexi are together. It's an interesting choice for NTX to not choose their best 1v1 player, at least from results that being Ddop, but I like that they chose Fade. I think it shows you just how well-rounded this team is, that they can have Fade play, as he's got to get back here. He won't be anywhere near the play, but Plexi is. So Wuffy now. Houston Spartans needing a goal here. It's a chance in front. Missed by Sif, and Fade's going to clear. There's nobody home, and it's a wide-open net. Fade has a brace in Game 3.
My goodness, this man just can't stop scoring. He had a beautiful read in Game 1, and now here in Game 3, he has both goals that has NTX up 2-0. For the Houston Spartans right now, it is starting to look more and more dire the farther this game goes along. We did see a good opportunity there in transition that did get saved away, but the Spartans right now, they can't lose the mentality. That one's going to be saved off the goal line. What a diving save there on the net mouth, keeping this one a 2-goal game. Now Yoko, flip reset, not able to get by Plexi. So he's going to be played back. Fade and Plexi get a little bit mixed up there. It's kind of a calamity in the NTX zone. Does give Houston possession here. Here comes Sith, but Fade once again says, no, sir, you go the other way.
Yeah, just again, great control from NTX. The Game 1 looked a bit shaky from them as a team. They just felt like they weren't nearly there together. It felt like they were just missing something. Feels like this game, they've been able to just kind of collect themselves, calm themselves down. Maybe this lead in this series has helped them realize that they're in such a favorable position in a match like this. Well, whatever it is, this is a much better looking 3v3 game for them, and it will make things real concerning for the Houston Spartans. Not only would losing this be quadruple match point against them, it would also give the Game 5 advantage directly to NTX Esports if we were to go there. Or sorry, the Game 6 advantage, I should say, to NTX Esports if we decide to go there. Such a difficult position to be in if you're Houston Spartans. They need a comeback. They need some sort of a fight here, because if not, we would have at most 2 more 3v3 games. We would have to play the mode again, and considering they haven't won any of them so far, that doesn't give me great confidence. They need to show, even if they don't win this game, at least some semblance of a team that can win this mode, because right now we're not seeing it from the Houston Spartans. NTX Esports are just in full control. They look like themselves, they look comfortable, they look confident, and the Houston Spartans cannot keep up with the mentality.
The way that he is playing right now, I think another silver lining that Houston can walk away from this game with is that Fade will not be on the field next game. That is going to be at least one positive to take away from this, as he has the hat trick. He is the only goal scorer of this match so far here in this Game 3, as Plexi plays it off the corner, almost a turnover, but Ddop will collect it no problem. Clear it out of the zone. The final minute is approaching. Here comes Fade. He's approaching the net once again. The backboard a little bit too steep to climb there. Ddop off of his own back wall, needs some help from Fade and gets it. So it'll be a clear. Final minute here in Game 3. We've seen some chances for Houston. They've not gone quietly in the night here, but the way the NTX is playing, it looks like a one-sided affair, and on the score sheet, it reflects that.
We keep on moving here, but inside the final minutes, it seems like NTX Esports at this point just sort of playing for control. Might have after this will be the 2v2 mode, and I like their chances in 2v2. I think Houston Spartans should have chosen the 2v2 mode, but NTX is such a good team in 2s. Plexi and Ddop are incredibly solid together. That is going to be their best 2v2 team. So, simply put, NTX making this roster, preparing for the mode that mode that they'd have to play in as well. Of course, reminder that it is Swiss, so no one gets eliminated from this matchup, but of course, it's only 2 wins or 2 losses, so losing this, you then have to win 2 in a row. You put yourself in such a hole if you lose this game, and especially if you don't win it well, because you know you might have to play a team later. That's going to fall in for Civ. It won't really make a big difference here for the Houston Spartans. At least they get something, but going into Game 4, there's not a lot to cheer about if you're the Houston Spartans, because so far this series has not gone your way.
Absolutely not, and Sith will be one of the 2 players for Houston, so getting that late goal might be able to boost the confidence a little bit. as he and Yoko have a tall task at hand to try and force a Game 5 out of this series that has suddenly become 3-0. It was 3-0 on the scoreboard. A late goal will eliminate the shutout, but I don't think NTX cares about that too much. What they care about is the shutout in the series score. Right now, Sporty, it is 3-0. NTX on the verge of moving on 1-0 in the Swiss.
Yeah, it would be on the verge of 1-0 in Swiss, one win away from top 8. Reminder, there is an advantage to going 2-0 or 2-1 in Swiss. You go 2-0, you get to keep it. You get an extra life for your first match in the hybrid bracket tomorrow. It's the RLCS hybrid bracket. So 2-0, you get an extra life. You can lose your first match and be fine. You go 2-1, you have to play with 1 life and win 4 matches in a row. So there's a big difference to going 2-0 or going 2-1. And NTX Esports, you know they'd like to go 2-0 with what the format has in store for them here. But to do so, at the very least, they got to win 1 more game against the Houston Spartans, and 2v2, you have to imagine they're going to be pretty confident in that mode with who they're playing.
Absolutely. And it is going to be Yoko and Sith, the duo here for Houston. We did finally get to hear from the Spartans late in that game on the goal scoring sheet. And again, Fade, he scored all 3 goals for NTX in that game. He does not get to play the next game because he was obviously the ones player. So, you know, there are small victories here for Houston, and you got to take it a step at a time, a game at a time, a play at a time. If you want to build a reverse sweep, it doesn't all happen quickly, but what does have to happen is it's got to be a win here to force Game 5.
Yeah, it is. Houston Spartans at this point have everything against them here. It's Game 6 that would be against them as well. NTX would get to choose that game if we went that far, but at the very least, they got to win this 2v2 mode, and this is such a good 2v2 team in Ddop and Plexi. They are going to make life miserable for the Houston Spartans. They need to play a perfect game against them if they are to stay in this series, because this is the team that NTX really likes playing. I think coming into this tournament, they came into it with the mindset that they would play their better players for the 2v2 mode, and you're seeing that here with Ddop and Plexi. But you're right, they have been a bit quiet today overall. Fade has been a really good player for them, so to not have Fade, we'll get to see a little bit more of what Ddop and Plexi can bring to the table here, because they've been surprisingly quieter today than what you would expect so far.
And that might be just credit to how well Fade is playing. He is on a mission so far. Here's Sith on a mission. What a shot, as he is going to pick his spot, leaves a defender in midfield in the dust. And then the goaltender on the right-hand side of the net. How about shoot left? Plexi on an island. No way to get to that ball. It's 1-0 as Sith will strike first. The first time we've seen Houston in the lead in a while, Sporty. It's got to feel good, especially when you need a win here in this game.
Said it as well, especially when wins are needed. Well, they're going to need to at least get a few more goals. I don't know if that 1-goal lead is necessarily going to last for them forever, but NTX right now, one of the big problems I'm seeing, they just don't feel creative. They don't feel like they're making anything. So much of their offense just kind of throwing one player up front and seeing if they can do something. You can just tell they don't really look like they're meshing that well together. The chemistry isn't fully there right now. I don't know if maybe Plexi and Ddop are asleep, but the Houston Spartans, their chemistry is looking solid. They're looking good. And coming into this mode, 2 goals up right now, and NTX Esports just do not look like the 2v2 team that I've come to expect from them.
And it's just the simple plays right now that is feeding Houston these goals in terms of shot placement. We saw the placement go against Plexi's momentum on the first goal. That goal right behind the defender, in between he and the goalpost. You know, the whole net is in front of him. He's not expecting you to go the other way. So just 2 really well-placed shots, and sometimes it is the basic things. Every goal matters. At the end of the day, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Right now, Houston do have the deuce in the game to put them up 2. A nice boost steal for Yoko. Sets up Sith to fire away. Oh, it's going to be a turnover in front. 3-0 as Yoko will gobble that one up and say thank you very much.
Yeah, the only thing that coming into this match that would have made me concerned for NTX Esports would have been the fact that these two didn't play each other. We play on the same team in the 2v2 Open for North America. But you can really tell that chemistry just isn't there for them right now. And it is for the Houston Spartans, who are kind of running up the score line. If they are able to take this game, and it seems likely at this point that they would be, they still got a long road to go here for the Houston Spartans, but at least it's something. At least they're not going to be walking away completely empty-handed. The game differential really doesn't mean all that much in this Swiss format, but just being able to take wins against teams like NTX, a team that I think many consider to be a team that should be able to make the top 8. That's at least a start here, as they're going to make it 4-0 on this, and oh wow, it's going to be, almost wide. Yoko made it a little bit closer than it should have been there, but it is 4-0 here, and I think NTX Esports already starting to realize that this mode isn't going to be their mode in this series, because it is just the Houston Spartans right now running away with it.
And you have to think that if you do end up winning Game 5, if you're Houston, that it's absolutely going to be ones in Game 6. So that is something to think in terms of the grand scale of things. Obviously, a lot more important things, especially the final 3 minutes of this game, just under, as that one's going to be deflected towards midfield. Yoko able to do enough to get it out of harm's way. And now it will be Yoko taking to the skies right over Plex. He did get bumped on his way through, but he stays with the play. It's a beautiful touch. But Sith unable to get the shot over the defense. But right now, not a lot of boost here for NTX. There's not really a whole lot going right for them here in this 2's game. And you have to wonder, Sporty, if this series does end up wearing a lot longer, as Sith is going to put another one in, what does this do to the mentality of Plexi and Dap behind Fade after this game, just where they kind of feel like nothing is going right for NTX?
We are going to be, looks like, I don't know if we're going to get a call to go next or not here. The players of NTX are contradicting each other. We're going to keep on moving for a little bit longer here at least, but the Houston Spartans, I mean, this isn't gonna change much for them. They still aren't gonna feel that confident because the next mode is 3v3 and they haven't won a 3v3 game yet this series. For NTX, I don't think it's gonna change that too much out of them. They might plant a seed of doubt, but you're not gonna have any doubt until the 3v3 mode doesn't go their way. That's the mode that they. I don't know if I'd consider it the most confident mode for them, but it's a mode that I think they'd be feeling pretty happy about. Would be the 3v3 mode. They're definitely the better team in that. So once they lose a 3v3 game, that's when the doubt's going to really creep in, because that's a mode that you play a lot. That's a mode that you got to be able to rely on as your backbone to be able to take leads in series like these. It's all the odd games are 3v3, so that's the mode that oftentimes will allow you to take a lead in a series. So in terms of the confidence, I don't think it's going to change too much, as we are getting the call, I think, to go next here. They're going to take one more.
Plexi was lagging, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Plexi said he's lagging. I think that NTX are going to call this one as well. I'm going to ask for a confirmation real quick.
Yeah, we're not sure if Plexi willingly left the game or maybe his game did crash there, but we are not sure. But with that pause, it is 6-0 now on the score sheet for Houston Spartans. It looks like Dap not willing to throw away this game just yet.
No, they are. They are forfeiting this game.
I understand now. Yep, he is calling this game. So
this game's over. It's 6-0 here. Teams are allowed to forfeit. So that is, yeah, we're getting the call there. They are going to end this game right now. So we're going to go right into Game 5 in 3v3 action. For NTX, a disaster of a Game 4. And it begs the question, what I said earlier, I'm so surprised Houston Spartans didn't call this mode early in their series. I'm surprised this wasn't their mode for Game 2. But it wasn't. If they called it in Game 2, that could have been a huge difference maker, because they could have won that game. They would have been tied 1-1. And who knows, they may not be nearly in such a position as they are right now.
Indeed. The good news for NTX is that Fade will be eligible for Game 5. He will be on the field as well as his 2 teammates. The bad news is that right now we are unsure of what Plexi's connection issue is, whether or not he will be able to continue lag-free or not. We will try and get that sorted as we get ready to transition. But a great game there for Houston. Once they got that first goal, Sporty, they never really looked back. They didn't need anything too flashy. It was just some good, solid foundational Rocket League that Houston brought to the table here, and they end up spanking NTX right into Game 5, but that's still a long road to go. 3v3 is going to be the next step before you even have to worry about ones. You got to win 3s if you want to win a series in crew battles.
Did it as well. Well, right now I'm looking at around for results around the tournament here. We've only got one match that's so far been reported. That is Prime Ddop sweeping Div 1. That's our second seed in this tournament. They just won their first round, so they'll be in the second round, playing in the upper portion of round 2, in being able to qualify. So yeah, we are going to have to wait a little bit. Seems like the technical issues are going to take a little while. But while we do wait, I don't know. I mean, Fox, you've been here before. You've seen this mode before. Going into Game 5 like this, seeing in such a unique position here for the Houston Spartans. If you're talking to the Houston Spartans, they don't have a coach, from what I remember. But if they did, and you were their coach, what would be your game plan? What would you be talking to them about? Because this is such a tough position to be in. It's one where, as a team, you need to be confident, but it's so tough to be confident when you need to win 3 games straight, and you know that Game 6 is going to be the mode that NTX is going to feel better in.
Yeah, for a lot of reasons right now, if I was Houston's coach, I would be telling them that we need to try and dictate communication and resources to slowing down Fade. And obviously he would be the 1v1 situation. If we do get to Game 6, it's most likely going to be ones, most likely going to see Fade yet again, because obviously why not? He had a phenomenal game. He's having a phenomenal series. So that's someone you want to watch in terms of 3v3, because Plexi, obviously he might be having connection issues. You know, he and Dap didn't have a great game, that game. So you want to try and slow down the leader, so to speak, of NTX on the stat sheet. It was Fade's hat trick that got them through in game 3. So I think if you stop Fade, you have a better chance at winning than if you just went into it without any sort of strategy.
I like what you're thinking there. Kind of go into and try not to put too much pressure on them right now. Well, right now the pressure's all on NTX Esports. I am trying to get some other results confirmed while we're at this. It looks like we did just get another report here. G7 Thriller, our number 1 seed, did sweep CMZ. So far, no real big surprises. Our top seeds have, so far, our top 2 seeds have won their matches relatively convincingly. That was expected out of them. What I'm really interested in is seeing how these not as top seeds, the teams that are kind of on the cusp of top 8, how they perform. Because while there are a couple clear top teams, favorites that are likely to go through and make it to top 8 easily, the question comes down to the teams that are on the cusp of top 8. Those kind of like, those teams like situated like, I would say even like 4, 5 through like 10. How are they going to perform? That's going to be what I'm interested in, because I think there are some teams that can easily upset. I like for instance, Synesthesia, SSB, those are some really low-seeded teams. Those teams, I think, have the possibility to upset, so I'm looking forward to that. SSB, again, thanks that I'm crying, that is on Ufin's stream. For Synesthesia, they're on the cross-progression stream. They're playing against Desire. That is Nightya's team, so we'll wait a little bit for, hopefully, the players to join on back, but if we do get some upsets in round 1, as I don't know if we're gonna get a lot, but if we do get upsets, that's a big thing. It's gonna shake up this bracket. It's gonna shake up everything else, and it'll be interesting to see. As we are apparently getting another report, YouTube Shorts FC just won their match 4-0. So far, nothing but sweeps here in round 1. I was hoping we'd get some longer series from some of the other matchups, but I'm sure that just means we're just waiting on longer matches to conclude.
Yep, absolutely. And we do have Plexi in the process of restarting his PC. That's what the call is. That's what the delay is here. If you are just joining us, maybe you're coming here from one of the other streams that has a concluded result. We are in the midst of NTX versus the Houston Spartans, and Houston down 3-1 right now in the series. They did just win game 4, which was 2s, but they have not won a 3v3 game as of yet, and the 1v1 game went handily to NTX courtesy of Fade. So that is where we stand here on this stream, just waiting on all members of NTX to get back and get ready. And, you know, Sporty, with crew battles, the way that a series can progress throughout its lifespan, you know, you do have to where you get advantages if a team absolutely dominates in 1s and they end up in game 6 with a chance to win the series, like we would have here. If NTX is forced into a game 6, you got to be feeling pretty good about 1s. You know, crew battles, it really kind of elevates the pressure on specific players to win the game. You know, you can be a hero or can end up being a 0 for your team in pretty quick order in crew battles.
Yeah, it is. Crew battles is a mode where you put a lot of pressure on people in 2s and 1s. Those are modes where there's a lot more pressure on you to perform well. But again, we'll just have to wait a little bit and see what happens. I'm looking forward to seeing what will happen here, but we are apparently going to get everybody back in here for game 5. It's definitely a stressful mode, considering, as you said, you're relying on 2s and 1s. For 2s, it's most players' comfort mode. For 1s, you're all alone. There's no one there to support you, so yeah, there's a lot more pressure than if you were in 3v3. You don't nearly have the same amount of support in some of those other game modes. But for now, we do go to game 5 here. It's 3v3. Reminder that NTX Esports do have match point, and they've not lost a 3v3 mode yet. They win this, they're through to round 2 and a 4-1 series victory. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, but for the Houston Spartans, this is still must-win territory.
Absolutely. I liked what we saw from Sawufi as well. He was not in the lobby for the 2v2 game. He obviously was not needed because he was ineligible to play. He was most likely in free play. He stayed in free play until the very start of this match, and then he rejoined the lobby. So as for Sawufi, I like that mentality. He wants to be fresh. He wants to have his fingers warm, ready to go for this one, as this is a must-win game. Next game would be a must-win as well, as that one's going to be saved away by Plexi, sent down the field. Ddop going to send Yoko into the scrap pile. It's going to be a shot opportunity, and who else? He wasn't heard from the score sheet in game 4. It's because he wasn't playing, but now back on the field. Fade has got his team up 1-0 off the bounce off the backboard.
Yeah, Fade's been clinical so far. He hasn't missed that much, has he? A big miss, though, from Sif as well. That is a play that probably shouldn't have bounced out like it did. Houston Spartans were all over it, but simply put, mistrusted guidance here, and it might be 2-0. It will be 2-0. It's Fade on the assist. It's Plexi with the goal, and the NTX Esports organization, who struggled in game 4, have a little something to say here in game 5.
It's a big time outnumbered situation there for Houston. They got caught in a 3v1 there. Obviously, there were fruits to be had on the other end of the field if you win that 50. The only issue, they lost the 50. Went right into Plexi, and it's an easy tap in for 2-0. Yoko Flip reset was queued up there, but unable to connect. As Sawuffy now being pressured in the corner. Here comes Fade. There's a demo on his path, but it's going to be a good save by Yoko off the crossbar. Plexi now has got teammates back there. Going to try to back pass, but hands it right over to Sith. It's going to be a great bounce. Good shot, but a better save. As Fade gets back, he can do it all. He can score, he can save, and do just about everything except play game 4, it would appear. Here's Sith now. It's a good pass over to Sawuffy. But yet again, the man of the hour. Fade able to save that one away. It wasn't on target, but he made sure to put it to safer ground.
You mentioned how beforehand the goal for Houston Spartans might need to be slowing down Fade. Can you even slow down Fade when he's doing all this right now? I would think you probably cannot. So you gotta find a way now to start just getting rid of players from NTX. Maybe that way from Sif. He gets rid of Fade on the demo. That might be the only way you're able to contain him right now. As long as he's not playing, you can be successful here. But even then, off the respawn, that's a big clear from Fade, and in comes Plexi to keep things going. Up past 1, now past 2. One player waiting. It's in front of the net. It spills out. Yoko will be there first. Dap. In on behind for the dunk. Fade in the challenge. It is out to Plexi. Fade to Plexi. Surely it's 3-0. It is. NTX Esports queued that one up. And as soon as you saw where the pass was going, you knew there was only one outcome.
Wow. I mean, that play, a give and go for the ages right there. Fade was schmovin' in the zone there. He got to that ball right off the corner, drops it down right into Plexi's lap. And, you know, that could do a lot for a player's mentality. He had to restart. Obviously, game 4 didn't go your way for Plexi. And now, all of a sudden, Fade, he's just there to pick you up by the bootstraps and get you going. Although Dap and Fade both lose their lives. It's just Plexi. It's a save. Rebound is open. And Houston are on the score sheet. Plenty of time left. We've only played half a game. And finally, Houston are on the scoreboard. It took 2 demos to get there, but they'll take it.
Yeah, I want to see more demos from them. It's been one of the few things that's worked for them so well this year, and has been able to work for them in this series. They haven't gone for a lot of them, but when they have, it has made things a little more difficult for NTX. It gets rid of their ability to play one-on-one, which seems to be where NTX is most comfortable here. So we'll also have to see if they can just keep adding something, keep adding more. The demos have worked. There's now a bit of an overcommit. Fade's the only one back. Sif to Sawuffy. Oh, he's missed it wide left. It was well covered by Fade, but I think Swampy there could have done a little bit better. NTX Esports get the ball back. And at this point, with 2 minutes to go, it's not panic time yet for Houston Spartans, but we're just about getting there.
Indeed, they're going to need a goal with time left on the clock. Obviously, you don't want it with just a couple seconds. You want some time to establish a play off the kickoff. Yoko's going to poke this one in deep. Fade's just there waiting. Got lots of options upfield. Dap back to Fade, looking to try and connect the dots. As those two get going, a shot from Dap, easily savable. It does get cleared here for Houston. Fade is up yet again, uses his flip, stays with that ball beautifully. And right now, Sporty, those little plays are eating away 10, 15 seconds. And when there's less than 90 here in Houston Spartans series life, all those seconds, they start adding up in a hurry.
Yeah, they do. Those seconds ticking away, only 2 goals behind, and yet the clock, that time, that number is a much bigger problem right now for the Houston Spartans. Plexi off the corner. If NTX can get another goal, I think they might just be able to put this thing out of reach of the Houston Spartans and their capabilities. The Battle of Texas may be nearing its end here on Parc de Paris on a whole different continent. Yoko to Sif, 2-on-1, Plexi and Bum behind. He's cleared it away and he stops Sif short. He will have to pay for it with his life though with Fade. It's on target! Plexi's not there! And Sif has given his team a chance.
We're not done yet. There is a demo in the corner. Who got demoed, Sporty? It was Fade. You say, see you later. If you're Sith, you take Fade out of the play. He couldn't get back in time. And just like that, another demo play, and Houston has found the back of the net once more. Right now, the Spartans, you know, they got to channel their inner battle of 300 right now. Try and throw some physicality, throw some bodies, knock NTX off of the field. Knock them out of the way if you can. You still need a goal. It's going to be cleared in deep. Here's Dap with some time. He'll touch it to midfield. Sith, it's a little awkward. Luckily for him, Sawuffy's waiting to help him out. And here is Sawuffy getting challenged by Plexi. No touch for either player. On the wifty. Another challenge will fall across the midfield line. We have got under 20 seconds to go. Houston, they desperately need a goal. They don't need the ball to be headed this way. They've got to get it deep, and they got to get it in a hurry.
Yeah, they do. This is their chance. It's in front. It's an awkward play for Dap. He doesn't know where the players are sitting. Sif to Yoko. Fade will clear it away. I would have preferred Sif just be a little more direct on that. He'll need to hold this ball up in the air. on the dribble. 2-on-1. Sif to shoot. Oh, he shot it low. Sif had a net to look at. A great looking chance. Not taken. And it will be North Texas Esports with a 4-1 series victory, advancing to the upper portion of round 2.
I like that game from Houston. You know, it didn't quite go their way, but they fought until the end. Quite literally a 0-second play that could have sent us to overtime. But unfortunately for them, they ran into NTX, and on their roster was Fade. By and large, the MVP style performance from him in that series. He won the ones game. In every single threes game he played, he was all over the scoreboard right now, Sporty. And that's what can happen in crew battles. You know, twos didn't go your way. That's fine. Every game that Fade played, they won. And NTX, you know, you get a little bit of a regroup time as you head further into the tournament, and we'll see what happens from them later on down the line. And for Houston, it was a decent series. Obviously, you know, they did run into a red hot Fade here in this one, but they will have to try and regroup. They still have some lives to spare, but they got to start winning some series.
Well, we've got some confirmations here in this group of who's progressed and who hasn't to the second portion favorably. Prime Ddop obviously mentioned their win. NTX obviously just won. Desire and CityBoyyyyJJ just won their matches 4-1 here. So all the favorites winning their matches in this group as well. So I don't think any major surprises here in terms of just pure results. This is again is Group B that we're in right now. It is Group A on the other side. Half of their matches are done. As we mentioned, G7 Thriller and YouTube Shorts winning. Still waiting on the results for the other matches. The Aura Bros taking on QAP. That is on Noob Key's stream. And then Sun Crying, SSB, they're in a real tense battle. That is on Ufin's stream. So we'll get you updates with those matches very, very soon. But as they're ongoing here so far, any first impressions, Fox, on just how this tournament has gone? Any teams that have shocked you as being good? Any results that have surprised you, maybe haven't surprised you? Any first impressions here from round 1? We still have 2 rounds to go, so a lot can happen.
Well, obviously, you know, the beginning of this top 16, you're starting to see some of the better players, you know, starting to shine. We start to see, you know, those 4-0 sweeps. They happen, but as we start to move along in this tournament, the pressure is going to start to elevate a lot more. The competition's only going to get stiffer, and as the Swiss goes on, you start to see, you know, who really belongs in that day 3 and who is only bound for day 2. But for first impressions, you know, I really like the format. I love the excitement it can bring on a day where there's best of 7s. You get to see every single mode, which is a lot of fun. You get to see, you know, everybody gets involved, whether you're a 2s or a 1s player on your team. So right now, everyone who seems that they should be winning pretty much are, and we'll have to see how that moves on as the Swiss starts to get to that 1-0 versus 1-0, 2-0 versus 2-0, etc.
Yeah, it will be. Well, for now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more action from you from the Swiss bracket here. We're only 1/3 of the way there. 2/3 left to play. We'll take a quick few minutes off. When we come back, it will be Swiss bracket round 2.
With a heart full of thunder, don't ask why or how. In the ruins of glory, find your ticket to ride. It's a roller coaster, baby. Buckle up for the ride. Get it, come get it if you think you can. Break through the noise like a madman. There's a fire burning deep in the night. Get it, come get it if you've got the night.
Dreams collide in sleepless nights. Stars explode through blinding lights. Victories found in the fight. I'm on top, my soul ignites. Life's a game, we learn the rules. Twist and turn like misfit fools. Through the pain we break the chains. Find the win through loss and gains. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Castles built on hope's foundation. Rivers run with pure elation. Through the storm I'll find my way. Triumph shines like break of day. Tides may turn but I remain. Steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings. Tides may turn, but I remain. Steady, strong, won't yield to pain. In the end, the truth will show. Strength and heart, the seeds we sow. I've got a heart that's never quitting. In this race, I'm always sprinting. Feel the power, victory sings. Born to conquer, spread my wings.
Thought another goal is all we needed. Taking second chances till we bleed. And when all the love had been depleted, we had but no choice to concede. As the stars were dancing in that line, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in that line. Future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry. It was bone dry. Come over here. I see it in your eyes, I feel it in the air. I know you're going through it, you know I've been there. But life is like a highway, it ain't always fair. It's how you persevere, chasing the wind. Gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Chasing the wind. Gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Look at you now. You finally did it, finally made your mama proud. Yeah, they doubted, but the fire never drowned. Your haters in the crowd, all eyes on you now. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Your friends, they talk, saying you should be the one to stop. They say you're wrong. Don't you let them get into your thoughts. They're gonna tell you anything, but that's not the way you should think. You're a star, gonna win it all. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend. Chasing the wind, gotta love it while you can. In the moment, let it in. No holding back, can't pretend.
You talk loud, but you don't say much. You call shots, then you flinch at the touch. I went quiet, you thought that you'd won. Funny thing, game's already done. You, they don't shut me up. Silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. You, they don't shut me up. Every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow. I'm the hidden winner. In it for the background. In it for the background. that high. I need breath just to choose my side. I lost you, but I found my skin. Say I'm gone, watch me still get in. You did, don't shut me up. Silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. You did, don't shut me up. Every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow. I'm the hidden winner. In it, in the background. Winner in the background. Say what you want, I heard it all. You raise your voice, I raise the bar. You dim my light, I learn to glow. I learn to glow in the dark. Winner in the background. Lose it, don't shut me up. Silence still cuts deep enough. You can turn me down, but I still get louder. Lose it, don't shut me up. Every scar is proof I stuck. You can take your bow. I'm the quiet sinner. Still the final winner. Winner in the background.
Welcome back to the Paradise Cup 5 qualifications, the top 8 on the line, and we've got the second seed in this tournament, Prime Ddop, taking on the 4th seed in their group, CityBoyyyyJJ here. We're talking about the top teams in this tournament, teams that you're likely going to see here tomorrow. They still need to win one more time to make it. There's no guarantees, but the nice thing is, you can qualify here. Prime Ddop, Devo, Life, Drew, CityBoyyyyJJ with Turt, Swaz, and Bosco Boy. Fox, round 1 was sort of the way we could see teams separate themselves. The best teams and the worst teams. Now, it's about qualification and nothing else.
Yeah, there's a lot more on the line as you start to move deeper into Swiss. You know, round 1, kind of getting your feet wet, maybe a little bit of nerves, maybe, you know, weren't quite ready for the format. Obviously, the seeding's going to put you against an opponent that perhaps you wouldn't want to see until later on in the tournament. But here in this matchup between CityBoy and Prime Ddop, I mean, should be an exciting match. It should be very competitive, should be a lot of high-flying, fast-paced Rocket League. We are going to get into game number 1 here on Manfield night, and rocking the blue is going to be Prime Ddop in the orange, CityBoyyyyJJ. Sporty, let's tuck in and enjoy this one, what should be a great show.
Yeah, Prime Ddop there at their win in round 1, a 4-0 sweep over Div 1. CityBoyyyyJJ, a 4-1 win over Bunny Girl Senpai here. So for Prime Ddop, the team expected to win this matchup. They're definitely the team that you would expect to be the better of the two, but important matchup here, and you know, all that matters is getting these wins. We start in game 1, the 3v3. As usual here, but I liked Div 1 as a team coming into this tournament, so in a way, you wonder what that's going to do here for Prime Ddop. But right now, it's get him a goal early. Drew already on the board. A little assist there from Life, and Life and Drew have been teammates for quite a while. They've been teammates before in events like these, so the fact that they have chemistry already, not a surprise to me. That's going to be pretty normal for this Prime Ddop team to have good chemistry.
Yeah, what a strike. And it was Drew after getting beat on the wall. He stayed alert, stayed active in the play, and then Life, what a dime. As Bosco now going to try and respond. No double there. Devo will take his fun away. Swaz now to the sidewall. That's covered very quickly by Life as these two teams jockey for some possession here in the midfield. Bosco right back in deep. He's got Life chasing him. Gets away from that, but the defense once again going to send CityBoy packing as that backward on the blue side. So far, they've tested it a couple of times. Every single time, a defender has been there ready to go.
A1 considering onward, long clear here for Turt. Will be a chance for CityBoyyyyJJ to answer their way back. Both these teams haven't lost yet this tournament either. Going through the upper bracket to get to this situation, so somebody's got to suffer their first loss as well. These are teams that aren't used to it, aren't accustomed to losing. Oh, it's a big double though! Saved off the line by Bosco Boy. Devo's gonna put it in for 2-0. Well, one team again hasn't lost. Well, both these teams haven't lost yet this tournament, but Prime Ddop really schooling CityBoyyyyJJ right now on the 3v3 mode. And CityBoyyyyJJ, interesting team to talk about. They're a team that signed up quite late in this tournament. They actually signed up past the sign-up period. They actually had their roster set up after the sign-up period closed. So they're one of the last teams to sign up in this event right now. I don't know if that's going to necessarily make an impact on their mechanical ability, on their ability to understand each other, but in terms of team chemistry and ability, you can tell one team right now clearly better than the other.
And Drew very nearly on that goal, had a triple touch. It was a very close effort. Here's Drew again, challenging from behind, able to cut down the shooting angle. Evo having to poke that one away. He will send it in deep. Swaz on duty here. Sends the ball midfield, but Life able to take it away. There's not really a whole lot of space and time right now for CityBoy to operate. There always seems to be a blue vehicle in their face, challenging them. Able to pick apart the passing plays before they happen. Now Swaz trying to change that narrative, but again, Life with a good defensive stand in front of his goal. It's going to be a little team bump there, but no harm, no foul as of yet. As Turt looking for any sort of opening, but again, the defense right now for Prime Ddop is prime in terms of the fact that they are limiting the amount of high-scoring chances that CityBoy is able to produce in this opening 2 minutes.
Yeah, as well. You said it, the defense has been solid, and so often if it comes on the defense, this is usually the game of, I would consider one of the closer ones in a matchup like this. Oh, but that's not good defense. That's not very good defense at all. A really poor first touch, and Bosco Boy kind of jumping in. I don't think he necessarily expected himself to score here, but with a touch like that from Life, you're only asking to be scored on from that position.
Yeah, tough turnover, and sometimes that's what it takes. They had one shot up until that point compared to the 5 that Prime Ddop has put on. And just like that, you have Life, you have a goal on the score sheet. Your first goal, I always say it, the first goal in a series, whether or not it comes, you know, early or later, it's got to feel good for a team to cut down some of the stress that might be there, some of the nerves. It feels good to put a goal in the net. Now they're going to look for more. Bosco trying to connect the dots there. Evo says no, not live. He is chasing Swaz up that back wall, who will make the stop. Good job avoiding the contact. Got to keep your eyes open because there are demos, there are challenges. Sporty, there's cars flying everywhere right now. We got 2 minutes left to play in game 1.
Yeah, it is, and CityBoyyyyJJ trying to keep things close. They haven't had a lot of shots this game, 3 shots only, all of which from Bosco. So they need someone else to be involved in the shooting, need someone else to get involved upfield. Ddop is just sort of closing in on them. They're going to keep playing this way. Life on the touch. Will be Turt. Life again. Dunked by Turt once more. Will be left for Drew. Life is there. Drew to Life for 3-1. It's just kept out by Bosco, who has had to be sort of a jack of all trades in this game. Defense, offense, he's been everywhere. 3 saves as well now, on top of his 1 goal and 3 shots. So for CityBoyyyyJJ, somebody else has got to step up to help out Bosco. He's done so much work. You look at Turt, he's only got about 80 points in this game. He has not been all that active. And for CityBoyyyyJJ, you need everybody to be good if you're going to beat a team like Prime Ddop.
Indeed, we will head towards the final minute. This one's heading towards the backboard of CityBoy, as that one will be played away. Another chance for rebound there. Not a lot of boost in the orange tanks right now. I believe Swaz is the only one with hardly anything in the tank, as Bosco will get the clear, but it's only as far as midfield. Good job following it up with the aforementioned boost is Swaz. Midfield covered nicely by a trio of blue cars, making a duo as Life went upfield for the demo. That shot very nearly crept in. It will hit the goalpost and stay out though. But good job by CityBoy here, responding with a little bit of offense here. Some of their offensive woes, they've met some defense. They've not been able to produce a lot, but they just need to produce one. Drew will deny that one. Another shot from Bosco, another save out of Prime.
It is. You could just say that they're just kind of bunkering in now, holding on, seeing if they can just get this win in the final few seconds, hold a 1-goal lead. Oh, so far, Prime Ddop have been the team that's been able to do that. They've been able to hold the possession and able to really take the ball away. And you can just see every single time they get the ball, they take a few moments to just kind of compose themselves, go to the back wall, take the dribbles outward, sort of play and attack that orange side. Seconds are ticking away here. Turt's gonna find Bosco. Bosco towards Swaz. It's Drew, and it's on the floor. Prime Ddop with game 1 here, and it will be now the choice for CityBoyyyyJJ of what they choose next.
Yep, 1s or 2s, as is the case for crew battles. And, you know, that series, or the game 1 of this series, rather, started very quickly with a great team play out of Prime Ddop. They never looked back. They never trailed this game, Sporty. After they got that lead, they were able to maintain the lead. CityBoy did poke one. It looks like Turt has chosen 1s for CityBoy's choice, so it will be 1v1 coming up in our next matchup, with CityBoy falling in the first game. The main issue that I saw for CityBoy, you know, we discussed it, was the offense really heavily favored Bosco Boy. He had 6 shots, his teammates combined 0 in terms of scoring. And when you're only able to put in 1 of those 6 shots against a team like Prime Ddop, that's not going to work too many times. They got to work on their offense, but in terms of 1s, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. The nice thing is that CityBoyyyyJJ get their choice. I would not be surprised if Prime Ddop throws in Life for once. He would be a 1v1 type player, but Life's also so good at 2s that it will be an interesting choice for Prime Ddop. This is not a team like NTX where I think they could throw it just about anyone who'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. This is one where it's an interesting choice. It's going to be Drew, so they're going to save Life for the 2v2, which I don't think is necessarily a bad idea, and I think he's playing against Turt. He is. He's playing against Turt, so that doesn't surprise me. Turt's playing. CityBoyyyyJJ fancy themselves in the 1s, and I think Prime Ddop really want to make sure they secure down the 2v2, so they're willing to sacrifice Life, a solid 1v1 player in his own right, and play Drew instead. We got a 2v2, so 1v1 here in game number 2, and I'm looking forward to what we have here. Prime Ddop, well, it wasn't their choice, but it will be their lead here with Drew. The first goal only 4 seconds in now, and it's Prime Ddop who, I have to imagine, must be feeling a little more comfortable now.
Sporty, where have I seen this narrative before? Drew scores first, and he scores early. He does so here once again, as a 1-0 lead early on for Prime Ddop. It's got to feel good. They spent a big portion of game 1 in the lead. They will start game 2 in the lead, but again, it is only 1 player on each side. So it does technically feel like a team game, but it is also a lot more pressure on the singular players, as Drew has the ball. See Turt on that sidewall. He is lurking like a shark, ready to scoop up any sort of scraps that Drew drops. He's going to put that one on target. Good save out of Turt. He'll avoid the contact thrown at him by Drew and has the ball. They've each got boost. Now just trying to get possession on one another. It's a kind of a jump ball play as both players nice and patient, not giving each other any freebies. That first goal came off a kickoff, but since then it looks like the following 40 seconds these two players have settled in nicely and they're starting to get their feet wet and get a feel for each other.
Surprisingly, 1 goal in the first 60 seconds. Well, now it's 2 goals in the first 60 seconds. I'm surprised by how little shooting we've seen so far. It feels like both players sort of just trying to learn and understand each other. And so often 1v1 is the mode, is one where you take that first minute, maybe you give up a couple goals, maybe you don't play nearly as aggressively as good, but you try to understand how you play, your opponent plays, that in the last 3 to 4 minutes, you are the better player. Definitely an interesting thing to go in. It's very different than what we saw earlier, where we saw goals almost immediately. And Drew right now trying to handle himself. Turts. Oh, he's going to beat him there. I don't think Drew's going to be very happy with that one. Yeah, well, I think he was going for the 50-50 up the back wall. He just trips. And Turt's able to win the 50-50 easily because of that. And, oh, Drew, he's now down by 1 in this game. And Turts, who maybe took a little bit of time to get into the mind of Drew, get into the feel of things, starting to see if he can wrestle this game away from Drew and make the scoreline a little bit more likable to his team.
Oh, shot there from Drew. He's just going to go high. He will get the rebound taken away from him. Third time is the charm. Yes, it is. As off the crossbar, he will flick away and to send that ball over the defense. Both players with no boost. Kind of a scramble there. It's a good idea from Turt. The problem is that the ball bounced literally right back onto Drew's face, and he will take that and with his octane send it right over Turt's head. We are tied at 2. It's the second straight time that we've seen a kickoff play devolve into a goal for Drew, so something for Turt to watch out for is the kickoffs this series, as off that kickoff neither had boost and Drew was able to take advantage. But now Turt has survived the kickoff. Now he has ball and boost. He will try to challenge Drew nice and slow. Flip reset queued up using the back end of his Finnick. Can't flick it over Drew, who has the possession and the turn the other way. Now he'll challenge Turt one-on-one. Big flick energy there. It will go off the crossbar. Rebound for Drew, and it's good.
It is well played from Drew. Not only is his dribble one where he goes on an angle towards the net, so Turt has a much tougher time blocking it, but he also forces Turt to use his boots on that first play. He will get the save, and in fact, actually, that's worse for Turt, that he doesn't get the save on that play, that it hits off the bar. If he gets a touch on that, it's probably lifted above the back wall, and he could be the first one to go for it. But because he doesn't get it, because it bounced off the back wall hard, it goes right back to Drew, and he's going to be the first one to jump on top of that. Now a challenge to the ball. Turt probably could have scored from there. Drew was sort of stuck in no man's land. He'll take the dribble again, though, and Turt's just going to win that 50-50. Drew used a lot of boost there on offense. He's going to be careful that he doesn't give this ball away too easily for Turt. Well, that's not going to be a helpful touch. That clear will help a little bit more. Turt's going to take the control, though. Bumped away by Drew, but not without the ball with them. Drew still. Oh, he's going to flick this one. Turt was ready. And a great boost steal from Drew. I don't know how on earth he got that one. He is someone with experience in tournaments like these. Drew was last in the Paradise Cup. Back in Paradise Cup 4, he was on MTDP. Actually, interestingly enough, with Life on that team. Now, he didn't make top 8 in that tournament. He fell out in the top 12, fell out in the group stage in that event. So he fell out in the very same stage that he's in here tonight. He's obviously hoping to turn things around, but Turt, oh, what a beautiful flip reset. Nothing that Drew can do about that one.
Nope, Turt threw his weight right into Drew, knocks him right out of the way. What a bump. Used the flip for the bump itself. The shot just needed to be able to be slow enough to avoid Drew after the collision, and it does so beautifully. So Turt back to level ground as he will climb back in the game shortly after Drew took the lead. This shot's going to go over him, and as soon as Drew lost the lead, he got it right back, and Sporty, right off the kickoff, Drew, a master at these, it would appear. That's his 3rd goal, stemming within seconds after the kickoff has gone on.
I see what you mean there. Just what a showing so far from Drew. I don't know if I would have favored him in this matchup. It just shows you the experience that he has in a mode like this, that he can play a game mode, maybe not like mode you expected him to show up in, and find some success. I mean, Fox, again, he was here last event. Life actually has won one of these before. He won Paradise Cup 2, even before he was with Drew as a teammate. That was on the Bubble Guppy Snackers. Instead, a team with Ultra and Plexi on it. Plexi is also in this tournament. We just saw him a little earlier. So just seeing that experience, well, that's not a very experience from Drew. Left his net a bit open there for turrets. But seeing that kind of experience, what does that do for a player like Drew and Plexi? Drew and Life, who've been here for life. He's won that. What does that experience do for you in a match like this?
Well, you know the sort of emotions you're going to feel. You know how it feels to play with pressure on the line. And you got to know how it feels to play on stream, because it is very different when you are on stream versus when you're off stream. You know, it might not, a lot of players might say, oh, stream doesn't really matter. It is in the back of your mind that other people are watching this. Speaking of watching, the teammates of Drew will have to watch him and bid him farewell, because my man just got taken right out of the play, and Turt will capitalize after the demo. Great play by Turt, nice and patient. It's in the back of the net. 5-4, City Boy in the lead.
It is strong showing. 1 goal up now for Turt, and we're getting to the point where it's late in the game, so that's where the pressure really is going to start to form on these players. A 1 goal difference is essentially nothing in 1v1, but that doesn't mean that these players aren't going to feel the pressure of being down in a game like this. And I can tell you from my experience in 1v1, you feel all that pressure late in a game like this. I mean, for Prime Ddop, it's not nearly as much of a must-win type of feel, but you know they love to be 2-0 up in the series, really put the pressure, and really put the pedal on CityBoyyyyJJ. They're one of the top seeds in this tournament. They want to prove that, they want to show that, and more importantly, they want to qualify for the top 8. You win this series, you're into the top 8, you get that extra life, you put yourself in prime position to win this thing. So that's what the pressure Drew is feeling. It's not necessarily a pressure of if you lose it's bad, it's more of a pressure of why not go up higher in the series, really put CityBoyyyyJJ under that pressure. And also, also, just knowing that this 1v1 mode might be played again, you can win this. You might just, as we saw from the last series, you might just dissuade your opponents from ever picking this mode again.
Indeed, and not a whole lot of pressure in terms of the results of the tournament. As stated, neither of these teams have lost up until this point, as Turt's flip will go just wide off the challenge. Good boost steal. Seen a lot of that from Turt here, stealing Drew's boost away. Drew's going to grab the boost here, so he will have the ball and have the advantage, as Turt has to play it back, watching that shot too high. Did fool Turt enough to make him go, though, so I'll have to use the rest of his tank to get to it. Now Drew, an opening here, not a lot to work with, half a tank of boost. Tries to challenge Turt, who stuck with him the whole way. Now Turt just going to test the backboard defense of Drew, who passes with flying colors. Speaking of which, he's going to pass that one all the way down and in to the back of the City Boy goal, and with not a lot of time left, Drew has taken the lead for his team.
Yeah, Turt needs to score from that position. Drew went for boost on the sidewall. He left his net open. Turt knew it too. That's why he went for the shot there. He knows if he just gets the shot on target, it's going in. But he misses, and it's crucial that he misses there with 13 seconds to go. Turt needs something now up the kickoff. Drew, take it to the corner. He will not get the corner boost. It's Turt who has it, wins the challenge as well. The net is wide open for Turt, and he's found a way back in the game with 3 ticks of the clock to go.
That is how you make a difference on the kickoff right there, Mr. Turt. Gets the boost steal out of the corner. That was the crucial moment after that. After the boost steal, he could just take his time, put that ball in the back of the goal, no problem. And for City Boy, some life breathed into this game, as we have got golden goal territory. The next goal scored by either of these two gentlemen will win game 2 and send us to 3s, either level at 1-1 or a 2-0 lead for Prime Ddop.
Yeah, it will be huge, and it's going to be Turt who wins the kickoff again. He scored a goal late in this game off the kickoff. He's looking for another, waiting for it. Oh, what a strike! He went right at Drew, never hesitated to shoot that right once he was front of the net. Drew thought he put himself in the right position as well. He didn't play it badly, but it was a win for Turt, and the 1v1 mode does favor CityBoyyyyJJ. This series is even at 1 as we go back to 3v3.
Yeah, credit to Turt. I mean, that level of patience and being able, you know, he was down with under 15 seconds to go. He was down by 1, never panicked, got the goal back, ties the game, wins it very quickly in overtime. That level of patience and composure that your opponent is throwing at you, like we saw from Turt, that has to be frustrating, because Drew, we saw him on the goal line there. He was hesitating, should I stay, should I go? By the time that he finally did make a move, it was Turt blasting it over top of him into the back of the net, and that is the type of ones game you love to see. Well over 1,300 points for both players. 6-7 was your scoreline, and it was overtime victory for City Boy, coming through with a tied series. Now we'll head to 3s, which did belong to Prime Ddop in game 1, but Sporty, the way that it looks right now, this series is very much up for grabs. We've not seen either team run away with games 1 or 2.
It is. I'm looking forward to this as well. We got Game 3 up next. And we have such a fun situation for us ahead of us here. But it's Game 3. It's the change series around. Last match we saw what happens when a team takes an advantage early. This one, there really is no major advantage early. While Freeze did favor... Freeze did favor Prime Ddop, and it still, I think, is going to favor Prime Ddop. But the series is even like this. It opens up the possibility for a real comeback where you're not in a position where you need to come back late. Coming back late, I can tell you from this format, is really ugly. You almost never see teams make late comebacks in formats like these, because it's just so difficult with the format stacked against you here. But when the series is even, if you can get a win early, and both teams are playing as close as they are, there's a lot more openings. Oh, there's an opening there. Devo's just dropped it in. It's a double tap from the midfield, and Devo, well, just beautiful. Turt's just out of his reach. And when you leave the back wall like that, at this level, these players aren't missing.
Devo D-Bang. My man sat out for a game and came to Game 3 on a mission, another early goal, and it belongs to Prime Ddop, the third game in a row that they've scored the first goal, and they've scored quick in all 3 matchups. And we did see it favor them in Game 1. We might see another goal here as Devo will escape. It's a jailbreak. He gets a good 50, but good for Swaz to be there and bail his teammates out. Turt is going to get body checked straight into the boards. Out of the play he'll go. Now Bosco's going to challenge Devo. We saw a lot from Bosco offensively in Game 1. That was just about all we saw. Now we did get to see Turt, of course, have offense. He was the only one on the field in Game 2. So now we get to see if, as a team, that the boys over at CityBoyyyyJJ can get Swaz involved a little bit more and send a more cohesive attack at this Prime Ddop team that defensively looked pretty darn solid in Game 1.
Yeah, and the reason why, one of the things I'm impressed about Prime Ddop is the patience that this team has. They're not rushing things. They're not trying to outpace you. All they're going to do is sort of let you play to them. They're more than happy to let the pressure come to their side. They just got to be careful here as Turts nearly flew that one in the net. He'll be up for Bosco Boy now. Drew wins the challenge, pays for it with his life. That's, speaking of, going to clear it away on one. Here he goes. He didn't get the one-point mode earlier, but he will take this one as a Swaz. And it is deflected wide. Chartwood here. High flick. Life is airborne. He'll have the clear now. Devo is there, but not anymore. Taken away by Bosco Boy. And it will be CityBoyyyyJJ on the pressure. You're seeing the difference in the way that these teams play. CityBoyyyyJJ is more than happy to take the pressure to Prime Ddop, but again, the problem is Prime Ddop is more than happy to let the pressure come to them. They're more than happy to play defensively. Prime Ddop is going to keep doing this until CityBoyyyyJJ can prove they can find some way to make this Prime Ddop defense go in for a loop.
Yep, and that ones game has definitely elevated Turks as he will get down and get this one in. What a feed from Bosco Boy off the wall. He carries this one up off the ceiling. He goes great drop down, and Turt there to gobble it up. I was just saying, Turt, he looks more confident after his ones game, and he has found the back of the goal for City Boy. Finally, someone in threes, not named Bosco, has a shot. More than that, they've got a goal, and they've tied Game 3 1-1 with just about half a game remaining.
Yeah, even then, it was Bosco Boy with the assist, so there's still a lot of reliance on Bosco Boy from the side of City Boy. They're going to need to get a little bit more going, and you might. Swaz has been, well, I wouldn't even say quiet. He was not a bad player in Game 1. He had an assist in Game 1, but he definitely had his moments where he just felt like he was a bit invisible and the real end of the offense. So this is all about getting everyone involved. It's all about being able to work as a unit. You got your solid players here from both teams. What really is going to be the difference maker so often in threes is how are your weakest performing players performing? Well, oh my. Well, there's no weak performers from Prime Ddop. I wasn't even ready. I didn't think Drew had this one. I'm going to be real honest, but what am I kidding? Of course he's got it. It's a double tap for Drew. And again, at this level, they're not missing.
Sheesh, that is the second double tap. The double D, Devo and Drew coming out with the double taps for Prime Ddop. They have 2 Ds in their name for a reason. And we have heard from both of them. Here comes Life. Life says, hello, I'm on this team as well, and I'm scoring the 3rd goal.
Everybody's got a goal now for Prime Ddop, so everybody is getting involved. I said it. How bad is your weakest performing player? Well, for Prime Ddop, their weakest performing player, whoever it is, has got a goal this game. So that's the difference maker here, is the goals, is the fact that the weakest side of this Prime Ddop team just isn't playing all that weak. Every single game, we talk about at least one player on CityBoyyyyJJ in every video game that feels like they could play better, feels like they could be. That's a great dribble from Swaz. My goodness, we'll talk a little bit more about that. It's Bosco Boy again with the outlet pass, but it's Swaz who kind of pops in, Oh, and he stole the goal from Bosco Boy. That's all Bosco Boy, and Suarez just wants to be on the scoreboard afterwards. I don't think either of them will really mind too much, but every single game we've talked about one player from CityBoyyyyJJ that we feel like could play better, that we feel like could stand up taller. We haven't had to mention anyone on Prime Ddop as playing badly in any of their games so far, so that's something to think about here, is the fact that, you know, when it comes to the weakest link, we definitely have been able to identify a weakest link for CityBoyyyyJJ, but for Prime Ddop, as of yet, there hasn't really been one in any of their games.
And in a mode where threes does end up carrying the majority of the weight, it's going to need to be all three. Devo shot off the goalpost, rebound. Life will scoop it up once again. He may not have the flashiest of goals, but he does have a pair in this game, and those 2 goals are the difference as of right now. Both times he's just been in the right spot at the right time. No mistake there on the shot. Will beat the defender coming on back. Of course, we did see a Bosco literally checked off the defender's 1, 2, 3 on his goal. We need to see more of that from City Boy, but we need to see more of that from everybody else. Turks had a better game here in game 1, but as a cohesive threesome, they've just not really meshed as well as they need to. They've not been able to hold a single lead in terms of the threes mode so far. So how big is that ones game now? It looks like the second threes game might not go their way unless they can find 2. How big is that ones game to leave them? Well, speaking of ones, there was 1 defender back. Now you see them. Now you don't. They are within 1.
Yeah, it is within 1. CityBoyyyyJJ closing in on the comeback here, and Prime Ddop kind of left all alone back there. Was Devo, and there's not really much he can do. He's on low boost as well, so being able to avoid the bump there, if he does avoid the bump, he probably puts himself in a position where he can't make the save. Kind of left all alone here in Prime Ddop's defense, which we've been complimenting all day in all tournaments so far, starting to show a little bit of struggle here in game 3, and might be another play in front for City Boy. Bosco trying to find another one out to Swaz. Bosco's already got 2 assists this game. Now it's Devo off the ceiling. Life is there. Devo's goal, and it's Drew's goal, and it's Prime Ddop who catch CityBoyyyyJJ on the counterattack.
Oh, it was just like Bosco's goal, dribbled over the defender, and then Devo very nearly struck that himself, but it is Drew there to help his buddy out. Great play from Devo. We have seen some high-flying goals here in the threes game where all the defenders have just been straight up beat, as Swaz will let this one trickle towards his backboard. A little scary with the player right there waiting. Speaking of that player, he's right back to the front of the goal as Devo's shot does get saved away. Good bump on Drew to take him out of the play. Bosco will try to find Swaz. He has found him, but the back pass to Turt's a little heavy. So it will be a clear here for Prime Ddop, a bouncer that gets sent into the orange territory. As Devo sends it in deeper, a little bit of a team miscommunication there. Does not matter because we are headed down the stretch. 2 goals is the difference right now. And it looks like they will head to game 4, 2-1 better. Prime Ddop both 3v3 victors.
Yeah, it is. Hey, as long as you keep winning the 3v3 modes, you're going to win this series eventually. But, you know, Prime Ddop would like to take the... would like to not have to take just 3v3 wins. We go to 2v2 next. It will be Swaz and Bosco Boy versus Life and Devo. That'll be a fun game when we get there. But for Prime Ddop, at least, and I mentioned before, again, how taking the 3v3 modes means you're always typically going to be the lead, the team that has the lead in the series. I think we're sort of catching that here as well, Fox, that for Prime Ddop being the better 3v3 team, they got that lead. You can tell from them because of the 3v3 wins, even though the series has not exactly been always there in their favor, they just look a little bit more calm. They look a little more comfortable. They're not needing to constantly prove themselves and come back in this series because they're comfortable enough knowing that when the 3v3 mode comes around, they're going to be the better team.
Yeah, that really puts the pressure here on the 2v2. If the 2s game goes to CityBoyyyyJJ, you know, you're tied, it becomes a best of 3. You have another chance to go at 3v3 and try and take down Prime Ddop in 3s, but it really depends on this game because you definitely don't want to head into game 5 after dropping the first 2 3v3s. You don't want to head there down 3-1 in this series. A crucial game here for CityBoyyyyJJ. We'll have to see what Swaz and Bosco can bring to the table for us.
Yeah, it is. This is a big game. You said it as well for CityBoyyyyJJ once more, needing to make the sort of redemption turn for themselves, and Prime Ddop intentionally not playing Life in the 1v1 in favor of his 2v2 ability. He's a solid 2v2 player, solid 1v1 player. He's really good in all modes, realistically, but he's a really solid 1v1 player. So the fact that they saved him for 2s tells you the thought process that Prime Ddop have, and that is they really want to make sure that this 2v2 mode is locked down as well. Almost locked down there was Life getting into that shot. It's Bosco who will force him under the pressure to shoot it wide. And here goes Devo. Ceiling shot. Big play under. Moves from Devo. Prime Ddop may have just made the right choice.
Gross. Absolutely gross. He saved his flip all the way until the end, and a little bit of a ground musty of sorts puts the ball right by the defender, and Devo with his first statement here in the 2v2. For the fourth game in a row, Prime Ddop have taken the lead with the first goal. They're gonna get the second goal. It's a great team play because Devo is playing interference and Life is shooting right at the goal.
Yeah, it is. Big bump from Devo. You said it right up the kickoff. Even in 2v2, you can have your kickoff goals, and especially for teams that no matter what kickoff play you go for, there's always a weakness, but it's just a big bump there. I'm surprised we haven't seen more bumps in this series, realistically. I feel like that's weird that this rank level does not see as many players go for bump plays, but Prime Ddop happy to unleash a little bit there. Here goes Devo again, and just look at all the space he's getting. He's got the bump as well. This is going to be 3-0. You can just tell Prime Ddop command this game. CityBoyyyyJJ, try as they might, clearly are just not going to be able to, at least so far, have not been able to manage these players, and I have to imagine with what we're seeing right now, are not going to be able to manage them in this mode.
The mechanics for Devo is the difference right now in this game. As we saw his flip earlier, we saw a great bump as well. Then that goal, able to win the challenge, win the 50, and they're just giving, CityBoyyyyJJ are giving Prime Ddop all sorts of time and space. Devo has literally an entire field, carries that ball in deep. Life the rebound, good save, does end up saved away, but that possession ended up being a lot more nervous than it needed to be. Here they come again, Devo, oh my.
Just keeps on going. There's no stopping this team right now. And what I find even more interesting, look at Life up here, screening Swaz. He's not necessarily expecting to get the bump there. He knows that Swaz isn't going to jump up and get bumped in that position. But that's the thing, he doesn't mind. Because Swaz doesn't jump up there, he can't cover the back wall. And it just gives Devo this extra bit of room that, I mean, at this rank level, even a little bit of room is going to be enough to score. But all that room, you're essentially asking to be scored on with the caliber and the ability that Devo has.
We need to see some more aggression from CityBoy, and it's got to come in a hurry. There is time left on the clock, but 4 goals is a tall mountain to climb, especially when you've got players like Devo and Life playing at the level that they are. They seem to find each other. That's a great pass from Devo. Here comes Life, challenges the defender Swaz. Able to poke it away now. If he can win this challenge, he does. It is in the net. There you go, Swaz. That is how you make a difference, and just like that, CityBoy have their first goal in over 3 minutes to work with.
Yeah, I think Devo was fully confident in Life winning that challenge. When you're last player back, you can't play to win the challenge. You really should be playing as if your player's going to lose that challenge. So for them there, for Drew there, I think he just got a bit too used to Life winning everything. That's not necessarily going to be the case in this mode, especially when the last one back. Your goal is to make sure that you don't give up open nets like that, but Prime Ddop right back into business, looking for 5-1. Oh, it was a little bit heavy there from Life. He's also just decided to give Drew a little bop on the back. Pinched away by Swaz. Life is therefore here in Prime Ddop. If they can get that next goal, they can go right back to business, right back to their giant lead, and right back into a little bit of that kind of comfortability that I think they've sort of managed for themselves here. They can't get too comfortable here though, Fox, because there's still only 3 goals up. There's still a lot of time to play, and CityBoyyyyJJ haven't given up this game just yet. This might be 2. It's a play in front. Life's gonna get there. Prime Ddop got caught napping for a moment, and CityBoyyyyJJ, they're not out of this thing. They're catching Prime Ddop, sort of underestimating the ability of Bosco and of Swaz.
I was just about to say, it was kind of lackluster, lackadaisical there from Prime Ddop for a while. Saw a couple demos from Life, and then Devo just kind of carried it east-west for a couple of times. What a flick here from Life. Devo, where are you, my friend? There he is. And that is a great play out of that duo. Devo's got his hat trick. Life with a little nudge, says Bosco, please move, sir. Beats 2 defenders with his flick. Devo might have scored it, but Life doing the heavy lifting there.
Yeah, what a great move here as well. We are getting, by the way, some reports around the league. Well, this match is 5-1 and seems to be somewhat out of reach. We're getting confirmation of 2 teams that have qualified to tomorrow. I'm going to be this honest, no surprises here that it's G7 Thriller and NTX Esports that have both qualified to the top 8 in the upper portion. So their run today is over. They get to sit, relax, and watch, and again, be here potentially on this stream tomorrow. So G7 Thriller, NTX Esports both playing on day 3, but remember the winner of this match will also be here for day 3 as well. So all still have a lot to play for. No elimination on the line. We haven't had a confirmation of any teams that have been eliminated so far, but as we wait, as we watch, I'm sure we're going to get more reports as things go up. But so far, let's be realistic here, Fox. I think there's been no crazy upsets so far. So often with tournaments, you get a lot of upsets. For whatever reason, this is a tournament where you basically get nothing when it comes to upsets in any of our matches.
It's a tournament where the gameplay speaks for itself. You know, in threes, there's a lot that can happen, but when you've got twos and ones in the mix, it really comes down to the individual performers, and the team that has the more stacked, more cohesive roster. Look out, here comes Bosco to put a ball into the back of the net, cutting the lead from 5-1 to 5-2. But you get to see, you know, the individual players shine. We saw NTX on this stream, the first series, and we saw Fade really have a shining star-like performance there. No surprise, NTX is now through into day 2. And Sporting, you know, that is a valuable win here to go 2-0 on today, because you get an extra life tomorrow.
Yeah, it is. You get that extra life. That extra life's going to be huge. It means you get to play a match and not feel too concerned about things. So that's, I'm sure, something that these people are going to look at as well. But again, what a showing here for these teams. What a showing for NTX Esports, who we saw earlier with their win. It definitely was a convincing look, but again, they've still got tomorrow. I mean, they did also, by the way, take down Desire of all teams. That's a pretty good team. That is the team with Nitra on it. So that was good. That was a matchup I honestly would have expected to go a little longer than 4 games. The fact that NTX won it should tell you how comfortable they are, even against some of these top teams, that they 4-0 sweep a team like Nitra and Polar.
Indeed, and the rest of this game does seem to be kind of just going through the motions. After 5-1, there was a bit of a lapse in terms of the play from Prime Ddop. It was not punished back when it happened, though, and after that, they just kind of locked it down defensively. They played some really good keep away, and now, don't look, but it is Prime Ddop who have won the first 2 3v3 matches. They're headed to 3v3 in Game 5 with a chance to win the series. And if you're CityBoyyyyJJ, if you win Game 5 and force Game 6, then you have the choice given back to Prime Ddop of what we play in Game 6.
Yeah, it is. That's the concern as well. Of course, just like before, when you go down 3-1 in a series like this, you just give the favorites the chance to choose whatever mode they like. And I wouldn't be surprised if Prime Ddop go right back to 2v2 with these 2 players. But the thing is that you can't even think about that right now, because the next thing is 3v3. And as we've said, CityBoyyyyJJ have not been able to win the 3v3 mode here against Prime Ddop. And you forgot the most important thing about this, Fox. If Prime Ddop win this game, they're in the top 8 and they get a second life. So that's huge for them. And something that I don't know if it's going to be on their minds, but it might be if this next game goes as well as they expect it to.
Yeah, there's plenty to play for. You got to be thinking ahead, but you also have to be thinking in the present. There's all sorts of scenario, all sorts of pressure to be thought of here. I think a big thing for CityBoyyyyJJ here in Game 5, get the first goal. You know, in ones, it doesn't necessarily matter who scores first, because ones is a game mode all of its own, but in both 3v3s and the 2v2, we saw Prime Ddop score first, and they scored early. And when you have to play from behind, you know, that pressure starts to build and build and build as the game goes on. And by the end of it, you know, you find yourself down, you start making a little bit more mistakes than perhaps you would like. So for CityBoy, I think your first goal of this game is to get the first goal.
Yeah, you're right. They haven't been able to score first. They've always been the team that's had to play from behind. And that's, as you said, such a tough position to be in. You said it, more likely to make mistakes. You got to rush yourself a little bit more. But even then, it's just like, you know, statistically, team that scores first almost typically wins their games more often than not. So you're just putting yourself behind, and Prime Ddop, well, their goal is going to be not let them score first. Score first yourself here against CityBoyyyyJJ. Just keep the good momentum moving. That's not going to be a good movement, though. Devo getting bumped. He still recovers back in time. We'll play it out for Drew. And Prime Ddop choosing to wait will be Bosco. Leaving it, well, looking to leave it for Swaz. They both sort of just sat there and watched each other for a moment. That's going to give a little bit of time for Prime Ddop to get back to defense, and it will be them again waiting here. The defense didn't look great at the end of game number 3, particularly. They had some issues, but they're looking good here. That's a big mistake. Turts didn't handle that one very well. He sort of left his teammate on an island there. Turt, who's usually so consistent. I mean, that's just a terrible time to make a miss like that, and Prime Ddop all over it.
No, there is a rather large green gentleman. His name is Shrek. He did say ogres have layers. This team, Prime Ddop, they attack you in layers. It is not 1, it is not 2, it is a full threesome coming at your net in this 3v3 mode, and that has once again awarded them the first goal, 5th game in a row that they have scored first. And there's been a lot of rebound opportunity. We saw Life pick up his first goals of the series off of rebounds as he got involved in the 3v3 game. Feels like quite some time ago, as we have played 1s and 2s. Here comes Swaz, great pass over to Turt. It's a good save as Drew came scurrying over to stop that attack. Now a good setup here, does not quite connect, as a couple players there for Prime Ddop were in the air, neither were able to contact the ball. And this will be played back, but Drew has time, he has boost, surveying the field, does get dunked immediately. Life's gonna need some help here, or to lend some help rather. He does so, good save. But CityBoyyyyJJ, they find themselves down again, trying to get this game back to level before the time starts to become their enemy.
Yeah, you said it as well. Time could become a problem. So would be more goals from Prime Ddop. It's a weird mix. You got to be aggressive if you're CityBoyyyyJJ. You got to be willing to take chances, but you also can't give Prime Ddop the space to be successful. As we saw, when you give this team space, they just go for double taps, and they seem to not, and they don't miss them either if they go for double taps. So it's a weird mix because you want to be aggressive, but if you're going to be aggressive, you're going to give more room behind you for a team like Prime Ddop to exploit. So it's finding that happy balance, that medium in a match like this, that ability to not only come back, but to also play a good structured game. That's a tough thing to find if you're CityBoyyyyJJ, especially, you know, giving up the first goal again, being down, knowing that it's match point against you, that this loss would mean that you put that Prime Ddop would send you all the way to do or die round 3, win and go in, lose and you're out kind of situation. So for CityBoyyyyJJ, they gotta find that balance, find that ability to be able to be aggressive, take chance on offense, but not make things easy for Prime Ddop the other way.
Oh, Drew has missed this ball. Life is going to need to clear, and will, but it's right straight into Turt. He does throw possession right away, though. Had some more time and space, unable to keep the ball close, and he's going to get bumped off of this one. Swaz giving his life up for the cause. Does set up his teammate to send one on target. No problems here for Drew, as he'll pick this one up. Look out, he's got 2 players right in his face. There's sort of that aggression you spoke of, Sporty. You need to be it, but they did have a 3rd man back, so I don't hate the send 2 men forward there. But now they got to get back. Drew actually played it away from all the defenders and his teammate. So it will be a turnover here. Now chance to shoot for Bosco. Looking for the back wall, but Life is there. He says, hello. It is not your time today, sir.
Yeah, 1 goal difference though so far. Prime Ddop sort of playing with fire with how far back they're waiting and relying on their defense to essentially have a perfect game. Not easy to do, and the shots for CityBoyyyyJJ, which have historically not been in their favor. 5 shots this game, only 2 for Prime Ddop. Maybe a 3 with Devo. Not there. Will be Drew. Back to Life. Prime Ddop again, just gonna have to throw this ball away. They don't have the boost. And really, they are flirting with death right now here in Game 5. Evo trying to fake one out. Won't really do its job, but it does get the ball downfield. A tough angle, though, and this is, again, gonna be thrown away to CityBoyyyyJJ. They haven't handled it immediately well, but here goes Turt. Gets by Life. Devo next in line. Bosco's taken out. Room to work. Swaz jumps in. He was the only one back there. It's a crucial challenge. It doesn't really go the way he wanted to. And CityBoyyyyJJ running out of time to make something happen to keep the series going. It's Turt again. Flip reset. He's got Swaz waiting. It's dunked away. It's still Turt. One-on-one with Life. And he will keep it out calm as you like it. Life with huge defensive action.
Time starting to run out here on City Boy. They have had some good offensive pressure this game. They have outshot their opponents, but they have not outscored their opponents. That's the big one. Final seconds. It's got to happen here. It's got to happen now. It's got to be off the crossbar. What a save. Potentially series-winning save from Life. If this ball touches the floor, it will not. It is kept up just for a moment. Now it'll touch the floor. Life quite literally saving Prime Ddop's life there. And that will send them straight on through into day number 2. And Sporty, a match like that, you go from being able to either win and move on to tomorrow, or now all of a sudden, if you lose, like CityBoyyyyJJ, you're playing for your tournament life. It is such a fine balance there, and that is the true difference in a Swiss-style format like we just saw.
You said it as well. That's the difference here. And in a format like this, you said it's not a very pleasant one. It's not one that's going to be very nice to you. We are getting some updates as well around the league. Some teams that have been eliminated. Houston Spartans just eliminated Synesthesia from the tournament. So that match has concluded 4-1 CMZ eliminating Closed Captions 4-1, as YouTube Shorts just booked their ticket to day 3 on a 4-0 sweep over Sun I'm Crying. It'll be the Orbos versus SSB that's still ongoing as well. That is on whose stream is that on? That's on the Cross Progression main stream. Cross Progression. And the other side of the bracket, it is Div 1 versus Bunny Girl Senpai. That's on Ufin's stream. So those matches are still ongoing, but as of now, we have confirmed a good amount, 4 of our 8 teams for tomorrow. Prime Ddop, NTX, Esports, and then Group A, it's G7 Thriller and YouTube Shorts FC. And if I'm not wrong, those I think are the 4 top seeds. So, simply put, as I said, no real upsets today, and it still is no real upsets today.
Yeah, the big dogs. They came to eat, and they ate. Very much so. As the top 4 spots will go to them, but we've still got more Rocket League to play. We do have another round because we have to decide who the next 4 are going to be moving into tomorrow. So we do have plenty more Rocket League to come your way. Make sure go check out some of those other streams as those series get concluded. And we will be back with our 3rd match of the day here, Sporty, in just a little bit.
비슷하게 살아가는데 꿈은 이뤄지는 게 아니라 꾸는 거라 생각하며 살아왔지. 아무것도 아닌 나에겐 누가 말해줬지. 진짜 원하면 언젠간 되지. 말만 잘하는 사람이 되기 싫어. 진짜 잘해. 이젠 나도 할래. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘. Sometimes I don't know what to do. Am I doing it right? 마냥 나이만 먹어가는 걸까? 다 잘하는 사람이 되고 싶어. 똑같이 하는 건 재미가 없잖아. 아무것도 아닌 나에겐 누가 말해줬지. 진짜 원하면 언젠간 되지. 말만 잘하는 사람이 되기 싫어. 진짜 잘해. 이젠 나도 할래. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. Gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘. 믿어볼래. 이젠 해낼 수 있어. 믿어볼래. 이젠 해낼 수 있어. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 우리가 해냈다고 다 고개를 끄덕일 수 있게. I'm gonna be a legend. We're gonna be a legend. 그때까지 나랑 같이 갈래. 손을 잡아줘.
Everything around me is starting to turn black. Don't tell me you're hurt again. Tell me how wrong I am. Tell me how it's all my fault. Yeah, I've met my match again. Starting from scratch again. Where is the pleasure in all this pain? Don't you lie to me. Say it's all okay. When it feels like I'm
to let you in. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the I'm sick of fighting the things that you said. I don't wanna burn all our bridges ahead. I'm tired of going to bed when you left me on red just to turn up the noise in my head. I told you that one day ain't never enough. You tell me I hate you, I still call you up. If we don't got trust, we can never have love. I was putting in the hours, I was. But you were calling me a liar, 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 liar. I've been putting in the hours, I was. And it's coming down to now and now and now and now and never. I was putting in the putting in
I see you dancing in the dark, through the shadows of the forest, and my heart breaks. Oh, I see you swaying through the trees, your hands dancing in the breeze, but I can't see you no more. By the moonlight, forbidden love, I need you so much. By the moonlight, I can't give you up my forbidden love. By the I feel you pulling me away to a place where I can't stay, and my heart breaks. Oh, I'm haunted by you every night. Your face appears before my eyes, but I can't see you no more. By the moonlight, forbidden love, I need you so much. By the need you. I love you, I do need you. I love you, I do need you.
Tomorrow, the moment is now. With a heart full of thunder, don't ask why or how. In the ruins of glory, find your ticket to ride. It's a roller coaster, baby. Buckle up for the ride. Get it, come get it if you think you can. Break through the noise like a madman. There's a fire burning deep in the night. Get it, come get it if you've got the night.
Welcome back to the Paradise Cup 5, Day 2. It is round 3 of the Swiss bracket. And you know what that means, Fox? It's do or die. Win and you're in the top 8, lose and your run ends here. And we've got quite a matchup here. If we can take a look at Group A here, which is where these teams are included, it is Aura Bros versus CMZ. And you'll be interested to see that the Aura Bros, a team that's rated quite highly in this tournament, struggle this much in the bracket. They barely got their win over SSB, a 4-3 win there. They lost earlier in a tough matchup to... if I can pull up the correct group, that is. They lost their first matchup in round 1 to QAP, a 4-2 bracket. So the matches have been close, but simply put, for the Aura Bros today, Fox, without Kevin, they've been struggling a little bit. It's Forky, Luca, and Mystical on that team, and surprisingly, they have not exactly been able to be as dominant as we would expect them to be.
Coming off the old Game 7 overtime, there is not much in Rocket League in terms of pressure, where Game 7 OT is not superseded. So, you know, for them, they're coming off of a rather tense series, and then for CMZ on the other side, they have done pretty well. They 4-1 their last series. Over on the other side of the group stages, we can see Prime Ddop, NTX obviously have moved through, and then in the elimination department, Synesthesia and Bunny Girl unfortunately do bow out of the tournament, and we have the other 4 matches coming up in that one as well, or the other 2 matches rather, with the 4 teams.
Yeah, it is. You said it as well. They're here to play to qualify. They're here to make their mark. They're here to be a team that's in this match and ready to go. So it'll be Aura Bros versus CMZ. The other side of our bracket will be Sun I'm Crying and QAP. That is on Sominomi's stream. And of course, as you said, in Group B, it is Desire vs Houston Spartans. That's on Shadow Dweller stream, and then CityBoyyyyJJ and Div1 on the stream of Noob Key. So I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be a great time here, but it's round 3. Round 3 is so simple because it's win and you're in, lose and you're out. Forget about all the complications that these teams have had so far. Just win the match, and you'll be here tomorrow. The difference, though, of course, now winning this match, unlike the last round, you don't get that extra life. You only have 1 life. You need to win 4 matches straight. For these teams, there's something that is very doable for them, but it's best of 7s through today, through tomorrow. It's a long bracket, but at this point, it would be better than being eliminated, which is absolutely a possibility, and it's going to happen to one of these teams.
Indeed it is. I don't know exactly who is going to have the advantage in the start of this series. I don't know if you'd rather be coming off of a 4-1, have, you know, a decent gap in between to kind of reset and rest up, or would you rather come in straight off of a Game 7 OT? You know, you're right there, you're obviously warm, but, you know, Game 7 in a tournament of this format where, you know, every single series matters, that could take a lot out of you in terms of the emotional and the mental factor. So we'll have to see if that affects the Aura Bros at all in this series, or if they come in absolutely, you know, raring to go and swing it. So obviously, like you said, 1 more win and you're through to day 3.
Yeah, you said it as well. 1 more win, you're through and you're ready. So for us, we're through, and I think we're ready to go to round 3 here of the Swiss bracket. It will be the Aura Bros taking on CMZ. And you mentioned as well, because of the way this format's going, we're just taking taking initial seed in for the way that these teams are. The way that these teams have performed today, the initial seed is what's the dictating factor of who you play against in your matchups. These teams are both coming off a win, which is interesting to think about because it's not always true. Sometimes you play against teams coming off a loss, but they're both coming in with momentum. I would favor the Aura Bros entirely. I'd favor the Aura Bros in this matchup with the players that they have on their team, but we'll have to wait and find out. I think we're ready to go, though. Oh, yeah, we are ready to go. Let's get the players in.
Yep, let's do it. We are ready for our 3rd and final stream of the day. Has been a lot. Well, we actually have a MIA player at the moment, so slight delay as we await the return of them. But I mean, in terms of, you know, action, we've seen great 1s games, we've seen great 2s games, but Sporty, the bread and butter for the decisions that we've seen on our stream personally has been those 3 games. The 3v3 has been the most crucial, and on paper it makes sense that it is the most crucial mode to be, you know, successful for. It brings success in the whole tournament.
Well, what I find interesting is that in our last 2 series, it's been the 3v3 games that have won the series for teams. The 1s and 2s games really haven't been all that important because one team keeps winning all the 3s games, so that's going to be crucial. You mentioned it, coming into a match like this, if one of these teams can be dominant in 3s. I would expect the Aura Bros to be that team that's more dominant in 3s, but ultimately, CMZ, I like their chances. That's Cat, Muff, and Zolfi. This is a team full of bubble players, kind of newer generational players. I mean, Cat's not that new. He's been around for a while, but newer players in terms of the top echelon. Cat is historically been a sub for a lot of teams, so for him to be a player that's now starting on a team that has had some success in the past season of RLCS, it feels like a team that in the future, you would expect more from these players. We'll obviously have to see about that, but I like CMZ as a team, at least for the near future, for being competitive players, well within their rights to make a top 32 run in RLCS. But you got to go up against an Aura Bros team with very much experienced players. I mean, we talk about players, the top players on this team. It's Forky, it's Mystical, and it is Kevin, who's actually going to show up for this matchup. So Kevin is here. They're making the change before game 1, so all these players extremely experienced with the Aura Bros at the top level. They're making the change to get Kevin in, so they're bringing in Kevin. They haven't had him all day so far, and before this match, we were talking about how the Aura Bros were struggling as well, maybe with the absence of Kevin. We'll see if he makes a difference. I love Kevin as a player. I think he works with just about any team that you can put him on, and he's got experience with Luca, so I'm going to love to see this. But Kevin, probably the player you want to call on now for the Aura Bros, with him being available, see what he can do. And he's replacing Forky as well, which I think is a reasonable replacement.
Kevin brought on the superhero cape, shows up at the last moment, quite literally at the last moment before the two teams.
And we're getting a punt. We're getting a punt.
Oh, it's the second time that's happened. A little false start. That's okay. It is a 5-yard penalty, but we will reset and regain. Unfortunate there. Looks like Kevin joined slightly too soon. So whatever issue Mr. Kevin is having, it looks like maybe a server issue based on what the players are saying. I am not sure. Obviously,
they're gonna move. They're gonna move to central servers. So yeah, they are saying they want a different server in. So we're gonna move to central servers in just a moment. We'll get that set up for these players since they both want it. But while we get that sorted out as well here, get a new server set up for the players and get this match underway. I mean, you've talked to me about my feelings about this match. What are your feelings about this match? Do you have a team that you favor in this one? I mean, the Aura Bros are the clear favorites on paper, but they've struggled today. Do you think CMZ has a chance to beat them here?
Obviously, I could see either team winning this game, but with Kevin coming back, that is a totally different feeling, because the Aura Bros, they struggled last series. They didn't have Kevin, and then he comes back, and all of a sudden, the team is right back to operating on as close to full cylinders as you can get when it comes to the Aura Bros. And honestly, it doesn't really matter if you're able to get through into the next round, because you do get the win. Even if it does take all 3 matches, that is still just more Rocket League to play, more experience, and a chance to take a bite out of the big dogs tomorrow. And for the Aura Bros, I feel like they, coming off that game 7, they've had a decent time to kind of recollect themselves. Should be a fast start from them. And for CMC, I think they just got to make sure, knock that rust off, because it has been a sizable length of time from the end of their last series coming into this one. We'll see who takes game 1. I think the winner of game 1 is going to get a lot of momentum moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, just getting the lead in the series, there's a difference between getting the lead and being behind in the series. Much like getting the first goal in the game is so important to setting the tone, getting the first win in a series is so important to setting the tone, and putting yourself in a position where you force your opponents to catch up. Sure, every game counts the same, but being down really hurts your mentality, really hurts your mental game, because it forces you into that sort of situation where you're thinking to yourself, I got to come back in this game, we got to do more as a team. And that could be a dangerous mindset to put yourself in, the mindset of, I need to make the comeback happen, we need to be able to make a response. And we'll hopefully get things set up in just a moment here as well. But again, we're looking to it. I'm excited, to say the very least, and we'll be moments away from getting this match going here as well. But we'll wait a little bit longer. It seems like we're having some technical issues on our side as well.
Dramatic tension.
So, yeah, Fox, we'll wait a little bit longer. We'll see if we can get things set up and sorted here. But, again, this game 1 matters in terms of just setting the tone in this series. So let's see what we can do. Let's see who can set the tone, who can set the gameplay forward in this series, because that's going to matter, especially when, again, it's the opponents, the team that has to come back, that has to choose those game modes, and, essentially forfeit the later part of the series to the favorites.
Indeed, it does look, in terms of on the scoreboard, that Muff's ping is not doing too well at the moment. We'll have to see if that does devolve into anything, but we are underway. The Aura Bros are rocking the blue on your screen, and the orange is going to be CMZ. And CMZ fresh off of their 4-1 series win. Game 7 overtime needed for the Aura Bros, and it is the cat's meow off of the sidewall here. What a play. The little miniature double tap. Unfortunately for Luca, he just kind of got bullied off the ball by his own teammate. Small mistakes like that, Sporty, can end up in the back of your net in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, I think very early, quickly in the series, we're going to figure out what the Orbos have been struggling with here tonight. Again, they've struggled against a lot of teams tonight. They've really had a lot of problems being able to make good runs, being able to make good performances. So I guess the question coming into this is going to be kind of what is the struggles for this team, and you're already seeing chemistry struggles, you're seeing communication issues. It's not a strong start when your communication is falling and lackluster like this, because this is a game I think that the Orbos, mode that the Orbos should be favored in, with the experience these three players have in this 3v3 mode. This is not a team you want to be struggling in that mode against here in CMZ, because, well, ones I think they have held, and I would not be surprised if they call it. Twos I don't think would be bad for them, but twos I think isn't really a mode that I would see Mystical and playing in as well. As Forky, by the way, is back in, so no Kevin, it's now Forky back in. So initially we had Kevin, now Forky's called back in, so they've clearly chosen who they want to play in. It's not going to be Kevin. So with Mystical and Luca now likely to be the players in the 2v2, well, exactly what they call, but they might call them in the 2v2. I don't know if I would consider 2v2 a mode that I think I'd favor the Orbos in, so that kind of leads up to 3v3 as being the difference maker in a lot of ways. And a start like that, miscommunication, if CMZ can hold control in the 3v3, as we've seen from matches earlier, if you can hold control in the 3v3, you're almost certainly going to be the more dominant team, no matter what happens in the other modes.
Yep, Kevin showed up just long enough to throw a wrench in our plans in terms of the start of the series, and bro dipped. So shout out Kevin wherever he is right now. Hope you are having a great evening, my friend. As Cat is going to fire one towards goal, and Forky, fresh off of his sub back in, made the save, but the rebound ends up right in front of Muff, and he's not going to make any mistake from there. It was a good save by Forky, but a better recovery from Zolfi. What a pass right in front to Muff, who made no mistake.
Yeah, strong showing there from Muff. Lovely from them as well. Here we go, still in game one, but again, what a start here for CMZ. You know, even if it's such as daunting as this, but players as experienced as this, you just get to see them kind of play a clean, consistent game. And again, this is a team that is a 3v3 team in real life. These are not players that are just new. This is not a pickup team. These are players that do know each other, do have experience with each other, unlike the Orbos, who their experience is a little bit more limited, as they're all on different teams with the RLCS. So I guess that experience makes a difference here. It definitely looks like it's making a difference here. And Fox, I mean, it's pretty evident that for the Orbos, they still need time to get used to each other, whereas for CMZ, that's not a problem.
Well, that's a good shot, good effort. As Mystical came in, very nearly had a tip in. Speaking of a tip, all it takes is a little redirect from Cat, and we've got our third goal of the game. All three belong to CMZ. It's another team passing play. What an outlet there from Muff. The field is wide open. Not sure if Cat is calling it or if he just knows he's there. Either way, it ends up a perfect passing play. And what I love to see from this chemistry that you mentioned, CMZ, they've got 3 goals, they've got 3 assists on the scoreboard. Everybody is getting a hand involved right now for this CMZ team in this 3-0 lead. Make it 3-1 off the bar. Mystical says that we're not done yet.
No, they're not done. They still have some life in them here. Well, wasn't a great save from Zolfi, who was already on the back wall. The problem with being on the back wall when trying to make saves, you can get up to the air with less boost, and that was the problem for him, is that he didn't have a lot of boost, so he's playing the back wall to conserve resources. The problem, though, is if you're on the back wall, it's really tough to clear from there. From there. Even with the ball shot straight at you, it's really tough to get a good clearance from the back wall. So the risk, obviously, is if you don't get a good touch, it's really just going to be left in front of your net there, and opponents love it when you leave the ball there, because it's a easy shot for them. And well, for the Orbos, they're hoping it's going to be at least on their way to a comeback here. Luca will lay things up for Forky. Cat to clear. We'll get a second touch on it as well. Still Cat's going to roll it towards the net for Mystical. Muff is just waiting. Zolfi. Oh, it's 3-on-1 here. It's very slow from Luca, though. Cat's going to get back on the save. And a demo as well. The Orbos will hold, though, not for very long. Cat is just going after people. It's a very mean Cat, but it is CMZ who have the ball. It's Cat who's still going after for bumps. He still hasn't left the offensive half, and now he's going to play the pass. It's Muff who nearly makes it for 1. That really is all from Cat, just being aggressive, going for bumps. I don't know if he's doing it just to get in the head so the Orbos, because his team is up, but whatever it is, it's worked well. In the Orbos, I mean, this has been a frustrating game 1 for them. They have just not been able to be successful. They've made mistakes. Now Cat's going for bumps, and CMZ has got their number right now.
You know, I've heard of Attack Dog, Sporty. I don't know if I've ever heard of an Attack Cat, but we are seeing that right now. As not only has Cat attacked players, he's attacked the net as well. 2 goals, 5 shots for the man. Almost make it 6. It will be saved by Forky. It does register as a shot. but it never really had a chance at the goal, courtesy of the defense thrown at him by Forky. But now another shot that's good enough to go in. It's Zulfi to strike. The defense just unable to save that ball away. Who's involved in the play yet again? It's Cat. Great pass.
It is. Great pass, 4-1. That should be able to, you would think, in theory, put this game out of reach for the Aura Bros. And again, we talked about the woes for this team, the struggles that they've had in all their matches, being able to get wins and look convincing. I talked earlier about the miscommunication. Fox, watching this game, what have you noticed as being the big problem for the Aura Bros so far here in the 3v3 mode?
I think it's been the play in their own half. They've had their looks offensively. Nothing has been too terribly dangerous in terms of the chances on the CMZ net, but it is the inability to shut down the team offense for CMZ. The defense a little bit out of sorts here for the Aura Bros team. And yes, you can run into a hot defense on the other side, but you need to stop the ball in a game of this magnitude. 4 goals against, you're not going to be very successful. And here in game 1, they weren't very successful. It's CMZ to take it 1-0. First blood in the series. That throws the decision of our next mode over to the Aura Bros.
Yeah, it is. And now the question comes down to what mode will the Aura Bros want? Would not be surprised with either of the modes of 1s or 2s. I feel like they're favored in 1s. Yeah, they're going to call 1s here. So they're going to call 1v1s here for game 2 from the Aura Bros. I don't think I'm too surprised with that. If they play Forky, I expect them to win. But they haven't been playing Forky today. They've been playing Mystical in the 1v1. So, we'll just have to wait and find out what they're doing. I think we're going to get another lobby change, by the way. Aura Bros have been talking about some rough ping issues. So, I think we are getting a lobby change. We'll see what they say. But with 1s coming up next, the question that comes down to is if we're going to be Forky and you save him for 2s, or is it going to be Mystical instead and you save Forky for the later mode, or if you have Forky play 1s and essentially guarantee this is a win. It's a tough choice here for the Aura Bros because I like both their chances, but we'll just have to wait and find out.
Indeed, it looks like it will be Forky versus Cat, as those 2 players are the only 2 left in the lobby. Everybody else has left, probably to stay warm, heading to free play. So we will head on into the next matchup. It is going to indeed be Cat. He is hopped on. Forky's the only Aura Bro in, and it is indeed Forky. So in terms of a Cat versus a Fork, normally the Cat's the one to scoot the Fork, off the counter, but we'll have to see if this Fork is able to poke the Cat and bring a win for his team and take us to a best of 5.
Here we go, game 2, 1v1. I mean, this has to favor Forky at this point. He's one of the top 1v1 players in this tournament. Him and Kevin are both top 1v1 players. So he's going to be a scary person to play against. He's someone who's won a lot of 1v1 tournaments. You often see him playing a lot of the weekly 1v1 tournaments as well. He's just someone who, in 1s, you always can expect to be a contender to win this mode. So it's going to be a real tough challenge for Cat. His goal, keep things close. Keep things close. See if you can just poke a couple goals against Forky and hold him off. You don't want to have him run away with this mode at all, but that's the risk that you're at if you're Cat. He's stuck in his own half. He fell on the post as well, so he's not going to be able to break out nearly as quickly. And let's look at all this control that Forky has. He's giving Cat nothing to work with. Up in the air with the flip as well. He'll go to the ground for the pinch. It is Cat who gets there. Not a boost usage just on that one save. He'll clear it away, but again, nothing to work with here. And Forky's just going to keep draining the boost of Cat with the way that he's playing. He goes up in the air, he's forcing Cat to save, and most importantly, when he does force Cat to save, he's forcing him to use boost to make the save. He's forcing him to fail to clear. That's gonna make things tough for Cat as he'll clear it away. Forky's gotta get back. It's an open net for Cat. Well, this is the way you gotta play if you're Cat. It's not pretty. It's not gonna be exactly the most exciting of games, but you gotta keep things close and you gotta just slowly but surely chip away. If he can get a win on Forky, he puts CMZ in such a prime position.
The attack Cat strikes back yet again, a demo. And demos, even in 1v1, demos can be incredibly effective. That opened the door for Cat. All he had to do was fire away. Made no mistake, Forky has overextended here, does get back in time to challenge Cat, who keeps the ball moving forward, won't get the boost. Has to settle for a quarter tank while Forky's got full. Here he comes. Lots of field to work with. What has he got in his arsenal? It's a flip reset, and it's a good one. A nice scoop for someone named Forky. That was kind of like a spoon. He just kind of scooped it up and into the net.
Yeah, Cat went wide on that last boost grab. The reason he's going wide on the net there is so he can pick up the boost pad on the corner of the box, but he needs to be a little bit more goal side there. He's too far outward. He's leaving the back post open for Forky, and Forky's just not going to miss that. If Cat just stays a little bit more inward, if he goes towards the inner boost in the box, I think he at least has a better chance on that save, but that's the scariness about Forky. You give him a little bit of space, he's going to make you pay for it, and he loves going in the air. I think that's something you've already noticed here as well, Fox. Forky is an aerial-based 1v1 player, and he's going to use that against Cat. And Cat, he's going to do it the best he can to keep things close, because right now Forky's in the lead, and Cat really hasn't had much to show for on offense so far this game. He's got a goal, sure, but he's only got 2 shots. Compare that to the 6 of Forky, and just a shot line like that means that eventually Cat's defense is going to fall apart, and oh, it's starting to fall apart here. It's 3-1 for Forky. Things are falling apart for Cat, and his strong start is starting to slip away from him.
Right on cue there. You said the defense was falling apart. For Cat, the big thing right now is the boost. When Cat is able to pick up boost, it's normally in a spot that does not favor him in terms of positional placement on the field, and that means he has to use a lot of that boost to get into proper position. So we have seen Cat with a short tank a lot. He's going to try and bump Forky, move it or lose it, and Cat is going to force his way into the net. It's 3-2.
Well, that's a gutsy call from Cat, because if he doesn't win on that edgeable bump, it's a goal the other way with Forky's positioning. I'm surprised Forky didn't have more boost in that spot. If he did, I'm sure Cat would have probably gone for a flick instead, but he's 1 goal closing in, and he's really going to make things tough for Forky. I'm not surprised Forky's playing the 1v1. He's the 1v1 player of this Aura Bros team, but Cat's keeping things close. He's clearly proving he's got his own ability, and Cat's not an unknown ones player in his own right. He's got experience, but he's going to need to show a little bit more of that here as Aura Bros up by 2 again, and Cat just going to sit there and watch. He knew the first shot was wide, but he just didn't have the boost to get to the second one.
Oh, it's the boost again that does unfortunately end up in the back of Cat's goal. You're the Aura Bros right now. Yes, you have struggled, but you got to be feeling pretty good about what Forky is bringing to the table so far here in game 2. A reminder, this is crew battle, so after this we do return to the 3v3 format. Cat gonna bully Forky off this ball just a little bit, but Cat got awkward, so they will play retreat. There was no middle boost there, has to go all the way to the corner. Forky trying to pitch that ball towards the goal. It's a good save at the end of the day, and Cat's gonna once again give a little bump. He sees boost, he grabs boost, and he's got the ball. Cat 1v1 with Forky back, flip reset, not there, good save.
Yeah, he wanted the demo initially on that play on Forky. If he got the demo, it's a goal. Now Forky, oh, he's missed this one. He's got to get it back in time, no problem. He's got to be careful that Cat doesn't bump him here, though. Oh, he doesn't do a good job, but he does get the boost, and Cat's out of position. Cat again going for the demo, doesn't connect. He wasn't moving fast enough. And it's Forky with the goal 2 times in a row here. You've seen Cat go for the demo. Both the times he's bumped him, but hasn't removed him. And with Forky still in the mix with all that boost, he will turn it around and make it a 3-goal difference.
What is the key to a demo in Rocket League Sporty? Going supersonic, and when you don't have boost, it is a lot more difficult to achieve that speed, and Cat's boost struggles continue. He actually bumped Forky into the boost there. It was a good bump initially, but all of a sudden Forky recovers. He's got boost, and Cat is in no man's land, but now gonna put one back, forcing Forky into a save. It's a good touch. We'll keep it close. Cat on retreat mode has the boost advantage now. Has to wait. Forky's flick is up. No bump to be had. Well, it does end up in a bump in the end, and now Forky all of a sudden has the boost advantage. It's a interesting little chess match so far, this 1v1, but I feel like Forky does have the advantage, and it comes with that boost.
It definitely does there. Cat, oh, he's gone upfield for boost now. Oh, the boost struggles, we've been talking all about it. They strike again. Cat going all the way upfield for the corner boost, and he's called it. That's going to end game 2 right there with, with 83 seconds to go. Cat's ready to let this game end just like that, and that means the 1v1 mode going favorably, well favorably into Forky's position. We'll let this game end in just a moment. But it will be game 3 up next, the 3v3 mode. Hopefully we'll get the pause in just a moment here, but 3v3's up next here as well. And, well, you wonder, if the Aura Bros, if this could be their moment to take the lead. I'm surprised we haven't done a pause yet. Do we have an admin? I don't know.
Wait, does somebody else have admin controls?
Nope, only the person who made the lobby, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit as well. think he just isn't here. There we go. There's the admin pause. As well, but it will end game 2 just like that. Game 3 up next, and again, for the Aura Bros, I like their chances in threes. They didn't look very good in game 1, but the nice thing is, with the way that the 3v3 mode is, with the caliber of the players, I mentioned how it doesn't feel like it's unlikely that they'll get a win in threes at some point. I guess you just have to ask, is this game 3 going to be it for them?
Well, it certainly was a fine showing from Forky there. That was a well-played and well-administered game 1v1 from him. So that is a great way to get back in the series for Forky himself. It does feel like a win, but as for the Aura Bros as a whole, the last couple of threes games that they've played, they did win the Game 7 OT, but they lost the first game of this series. Stuff has been a little bit shaky in terms of the 3v3, like we've seen all night long so far, Sporty. Threes are the most important mode in this tournament, at least thus far on our stream personally. So yes, you did win this game, but it's all about the next game, getting some confidence as a whole if you are the Aura Bros. For CMZ, they had a great game 1. Let's carry it into game 3.
You said it as well. We'll see if they can carry it going into game 3. CMZ looks good. The nice thing is, if they can be dominant in the 3v3 mode, as we've seen already tonight, that's enough to almost certainly get you a win. We'll have to wait and find out what will happen, but for now, game 3, and I feel really, nervous in this going into this game 3, because unlike before, where you could see some real comfortability, it feels like the Aura Bros haven't given what we expect from them, haven't given their all. It's a weird situation, because I think CMZ, Cat Muff, and Zolfi really dominated in game 1 and looked clearly the better team. But I feel like a lot of it came down to the Aura Bros making mistakes. I feel like a lot of it came down to the Aura Bros not maybe looking their most comfortable. I feel like they have more to offer in this thing, or maybe that's just because of their seed. Who knows?
Well, we will get settled on into DFH Stadium Game 3 coming your way next. We just saw the ones in Game 2. We are back to 3v3, which, if you are just joining us, CMZ was the victors in Game 1. Game 2, a 1v1 showdown with Forky bringing the win for his team. The Aura Bros did not have a very exciting start to Game 1, as CMZ jumped on them and jumped all over them as they controlled much of that game. That shot saved by Zolfi, as Forky tried. Cat with once again no boost. Pretty sure he's used to that by now, as Forky was able to win the boost battle, nearly won the ball, as that one will glance wide, but the pressure does continue here for the Aura Bros. They have put CMZ on the back foot in the first 30 seconds, and they are looking to deliver first strike here in game 3.
As well, trying to score first. If CMZ can do it again, I can imagine the confidence that they'll have. But the Aura Bros are attacking the net here. They've got some real confidence about the way they're playing, as it will be Luca playing this one towards Mystical. Cat on the dunk. Forky now trying to lift this thing into the air. It's Luca in behind. It's Mystical who will take it though. Up the side ball. Second touch. He can score from here. Cat's out of position. Oh, he nearly put himself in a bad spot there, but he does get the block. But the problem right now is the boost. We've been talking about it all last game. It's an issue at this game right now. Full boost control right now on the side of the Aura Bros, but Mystical with nothing. And finally, CMZ can get some time to breathe.
Ooh. What a creative little 50 there, thrown by Muff, very nearly able to jam that one home. 2 defenders got in his way to deny the goal. Now 1-on-1, we get to see a mini version of ones until Muff said not so fast. Ones was last game. We have 3 players this time. Good defense. You're never out of the play if you're able to attack from behind. Now this one's going to be a passing play over to Muff. Shot on goal. Mystical said no. Rebound for Zolfi, no good, as it will head on back to the corner. Mystical's up quick, but Muff has him red. Muff's beating the second player as well, just no more boost there. So it will be a collection for the Aura Bros. Here comes CMZ yet again. It is the Z of that factor. Zolfi drops it down. Cat will score, but the credit, in my mind, goes to Zolfi.
Yeah, it is just too open. Mystical can't challenge, and the rotations seem to... I'm surprised we haven't talked about rotations in this series yet, considering just how much parity there seems to be in the rotational game right now. I mean, I talked about it a little bit in game 1. I'll talk about it even more here in this game. Just the amount of support these teams have. There's a clear difference right now. One team has that support. One team seems to have that trust. The other seems to be losing it here. Cat Muff and Zolfi, a well-oiled machine right now, all supporting each other. They're a team that had to play through the lower bracket, I believe, to make it to this point. Did they have to play? I believe they had to play through the lower bracket just to get to this point. So they themselves didn't have exactly the best of day ones. I mean, they made top 16. That's obviously a good result for them, but their day 1 in the upper bracket ended against Desire. It was a 3-2 Game 5 loss. Today, though, They might be in the top 8 soon enough. It's a goal back, though, against the other way. Luca from the corner, sharp shot over the defense, and CMZ can't be riding that high for too much longer.
No, a double commit does end up in a turnover right into Luca's hands. Makes no mistake. I believe that is Luca's first goal of the series. Mystical's going to pop this one high. Cat to dish it away. Zolfi can clear, but again, right into Luca. He's been in favorable position these last few seconds. Now tries to get the flip. Muff was in his path, taking that ball away as the pressure here for the Orbros. They've spent a lot of time in the orange half so far this game. We've seen some boost discrepancies as well, but the shots do remain at 7. The big story is the scoreline, which is still 1-1. CMZ doing a good job at surviving this early on pressure in the first 3 minutes of this game. Leaves it very much up for grabs. Here comes Luca looking for a goal to grab himself. Mystical off the sidewalk, goes for the redirect, leaves it for Forky. Good save. Zolfi reaching up, Muff there to clear it away. Good defense by CMZ.
It is solid defense from CMZ. The problem is they only have 4 shots. They haven't been able to transition up the field this game. The Orbros letting their individual mechanics really do the talking here. Oh, well, the demo's going to do some talking as well. Zolfi getting rid of some players. CMZ, though, still struggling. You can just see so much of this play sputter out in the midfield. They keep getting challenged in 50-50s from the Orbros. The Orbros are more than happy to keep playing this game. It prevents CMZ from shots, but that's a shot for Cat. An errant touch in the midfield, and it is Cat on top of it. He's got 2 goals this game, and Forky, well, he's going to be disappointed with that. Luca may have gotten bumped. It's Forky, though, who knows that was a touch that he probably should have gotten.
Oh, Forky just got big muffed there in the net. What a bump from Muff. What a setup as well. His flip reset sets up that goal. Cat has been the benefactor of 2 great passes, 1 from each player on his side. And speaking of those 2 players, they will be up next in the 2v2 as they will take on Mystical and Luca in the next game. Here comes Muff trying to put the icing on this one perhaps, but not enough boost to do so. Rebound there. Luca has to go a long way to save it, meaning that Forky now has a little bit of time, not a whole lot of space though, because Cat is right there waiting. Cat has stolen the ball, takes it right up the wall, drops down mid. Mystical, got to be careful. Orange cars are lurking. It is very interesting now. That goal, all of a sudden, just like that, Sporty, the pressure has very much favored CMZ the last 45 seconds or so.
Yeah, it is. This is just CMZ right now with all this movement. I mean, the middle of this game was meant for the Orbros to put up points. They've only been able to get 1 goal this game. Now they get a second one late. Luca forces his way in. CMZ were there, but not enough on it. Katsu, I'm sure will be disappointed with that touch, but it's Luca who jumps in. He's been surprisingly quiet this year. I think a lot of people, almost all the players from Orbros have been quiet at times, but that's a huge goal late with 24 seconds to go now. It's CMZ who have to be wary, but not for long. Cat's got a hat trick. He has 3 goals on 3 shots.
What a goal here right off the kickoff. It doesn't matter if you lost the lead, if you can get it right back. 20 seconds left. A goal like that is huge for that rebound from a goal where Cat did get bumped. It was kind of his turnover. He gets sweet redemption there. A demo will take a player off of each side. 2's his next game, lads. Make sure that we keep as many players on the field as possible. Muff will eat away as much clock as he can. He has got this one. Sends it forward, drops it through, 50 all the way back through the corner. This is not where the Orbros need to be. They got to go the link to the field. Mystical's going to find Luca. Final chance here in regulation. Luca has been the hero so far, but Zolfi says no.
Still kept up. Zolfi's got to just let this one be grounded. Forky clears. It's Cat who actually just sends it the other way. He's not going to take any chances here. Luca still with the chance. Oh, he's ran in the Mystical. Forky's not in a good spot. What a big block there. He somehow keeps that up. Mystical to Luca. Luca on full boost. Can he just get a chance? Luca again to Mystical. It was right there, just out of reach. CMZ with another 3v3 win.
My goodness, what a game. That was I feel like that was an evolution of the game as it went on. The Orbros started that game so well. CMZ came back. Then all of a sudden it looked like the Orbros took the wind right out of their sails. A kickoff later, CMZ took the lead back and they never looked back after that. And like we said, like we've been saying, 3v3 is the mode you want to find success in. And CMZ right now, they're 2-0 in that mode. So now the pressure really shifts onto Mystical and Luca's shoulders as a 2v2 showdown. You don't want to be headed to game 5 in another 3v3 scenario. down with a chance to be knocked out.
You said it as well, and 2v2 is going to be an interesting mode. Obviously, Forky, who played in the 2v2 modes a little bit earlier, now not able to play for this one. It's going to be Luca and Mystical versus Zolfi and Muff, and I think this is going to be a lot closer than the 1v1. I think for Orbos, I think they knew that as well. That's why they chose 1v1 for Game 2. But again, feels like a huge position for the Orbos. They win this. It's an interesting situation, because if you can win this inside the series at 2 games each, the winner of Game 5 doesn't actually give the favorites the chance to choose for Game 6. It would be the team losing a chance for Game 6. So it's an interesting change one. But if they win, if CMZ wins, Orbos would have to give CMZ the chance to close the series out in Game 6 on their own game choice. So it's an interesting sort of situation. This game really matters more than I think maybe you see maybe you see on first glance. But being able to choose what you play in Game 6, that's a huge deal. And of course, if you can have it while also leading while also being a team that, you know, while having it is great, you don't want to be the team that has to allow the favorites to do it. So for CMZ, winning this means for Game 6, you get to play whatever mode you like, and that's a huge advantage, rather than having to allow, you know, your opponents the chance to do it if they were to win in this game.
Early shot there will be denied, and now look out. Zolfi's got to play some defense here, deflects it over. Luca is there waiting. It's a nice little drop off for Mystical, but they will get a little tangled up on each other. So Muff can clear, but he's out of boost. So Mystical takes it from there, grabs that mid boost from Muff as well. I don't think there's back boost either. So it will be a small amount of time to pad up for him, as he will eventually collect this recently spawned boost. It's off of Muff. Here comes Mystical, trying to create a little bit of chaos, has his flip. Some good defense yet again. We've seen some great defense from CMZ. Kind of frustrating Orbros at times. It's been a just solid orange wall of cars. Not that time though. A bump will open, tear down that wall. That is exactly what the Orbros did.
Yeah, it is. Big bump from Luca. Got rid of Zolfi, and then he goes right after Muff afterwards. So Luca doing the 1v2 job. That's what you want to do as the first player upfield. You want to make it where it's easy for the second player to jump in and take a shot. That's exactly what you see right there. One goal up. It seems like it's going to be a rather slow burn here, and one where TMZ is going to probably play more counterattack heavy. They've had to spend that whole first minute in their own half of the field, so the counterattacks, I think, again, are what they're looking for. I'm sure they'd like pressure and possession a little bit more than that, but seems like that's not really a given with the Aura Bros. Is Muff to clear. Second touch. Something else to talk about here. How long the days have been for the Aura Bros. I mean, if they are to win this game, it's at least a 6-game series. Every single series that they played today has either gone to 6 games or to 7 games. And so they've had long matches today. CMZ, by comparison, have not had as long of matches. I want to say both the matches ended pretty quickly here. It was round 1 where they got swept, and then round 2 where it was a 4-1 win. So the matches have been rather short by comparison. How much of an impact do you think that's going to have with the way that these teams play, Fox? Especially if this match does seem to go the distance, or at least close.
Well, it depends on how much grinding happens off screen, whether or not these players have the mental and emotional fortitude. Luca's got some fortitude. He's also got the second goal for his team. Big time 50. Muff just went flying off of that. And he had no boost to recover, so Luca just sits there, takes his shot, picks his spot, and just like that, Luca's offense came to life last game. It's coming to life here when they need it to, as he and Mystical both have a goal each. Now Zolfi trying to respond, gets the flip. Mystical takes it right away, forcing Muff's hand all the way back, but the boost not on the side of CMZ. The Aura Bros in control. They'll get a demo, but they give the ball away right to Muff, and it will be in the back of their net.
It is. Terrible giveaway here from Luca. Just tried to catch it, and he really did not make a good job of doing a mess of that play. Mystical probably should be a little further back, but you expect your teammate to get the catch in that position, so a real poor play there, and this is going to be left for a 1-goal recovery here, as it will be Zolfi, the dribble, trying to get through Luca. Muff now, he's going to clear it into the net. It's another giveaway, and another goal. Boy, that's going to be real rough here if you are Luca and Mystical. You did all of that work to take this lead, and it's 2 terrible clears that give it away.
A great job by Zolfi. They're able to beat the first defender, leaves the second defender in a I really have to go now sort of scenario, because that ball is headed to your net. You see 2 orange players there, and it ends up as a turnover. Now, how about a passing play? What a shot. Just unfortunately hits the outside of the goalpost. The third man here creating some threes. It was the crossbar for the Aura Bros making that save. Does keep this game tied recently. As Ouroboros, a great start, 2-0 lead, trimmed down to equilibrium now for CMZ, and CMZ is going to need some defense here from Muff. Mystical's hanging out in his zip code, trying to get the better, but Muff got the boost, has the ball, Muff all the way by himself.
That was perfect from Muff. I mean, you couldn't have drawn it up much better than that. A play like that, a little shot off the corner. He knows exactly what he's doing there, and boy, does it just look absolutely spectacular. From 2 goals down now, it's 3-2 up. And they might not be done there either. They might want 4 off the back wall. Zolfi now. He's got Muff waiting. He'll have to go back instead. Luca. Muff on a challenge! It's 4-2! They get another one here. And no matter what happens, it seems for Mystical and Luca, just nothing is going their way.
It's a quad McMuffin, Sporty. That is his 4th goal of the game, his 7th shot by himself. 4 goals, 3 saves for Muff. Zolfi with 2 assists and 5 saves himself. And quite literally, it looks like the Ouroboros have had the life slowly but surely drained out of them this game. They started the game so well, and slowly after that, it has been a couple of mistakes. Feels like they kind of shot themselves in the foot, and in that game, CMZ, the life they've needed to nearly make this 5-2, they will. It's Zolfi able to take it right off the defender and into the nets.
It's been a rough game for Luca, that's for certain. Just not able to make the touches that he wants to make, that he has to make. You feel for Luca, because you have those games at times. We just don't play well in a mode where you don't see a lot of 1s or 2s games. Not being able to play well in the 1 or 2 in that game can really hurt, because you don't get that many chances to play it. In 3s, you always get another chance. In 1s and 2s, you may not in the rest of the series. And boy, things are just going from bad to worse. Mystical going for the boost. Zolfi takes him out. And boy, oh boy, this is just getting ugly at this point. CMZ, pretty happy with this game. It started off poorly for them, but by the second half of this game, it has just been their favor. Luca has had a rough point. Mystical and Luca have not been able to work together. Have not been able to get out of them half. And at this point, from up in Zolfi, with a minute to go in this game, it's just about maintaining this scoreline.
Indeed, and the really scary part about this for the Ouroboros is this is going to be 7-2 right off of it. Zolfi just goes ahead and puts that in. That might be the go next here from the Ouroboros. We'll have to see if they do call it or if they want to go ahead and play it out. But the really scary thing, Sporty, is if the Ouroboros do go down here, they'll be trailing 3-1. If they win game 5, all of a sudden CMZ has a chance to put Luca and Mystical right back into this stranglehold of 2s for game 6. And for a team that has struggled in 3s against CMZ and who had a very rough 2s game against CMZ, the Ouroboros right now, it is looking extremely bleak.
Yeah, and it's elimination as well if you lose this series. Now, I will say, I think it's a better chance they probably play Forky and Mystical for 2s, and not Luca and Mystical. We'll see, but I wouldn't be surprised if Forky gets a chance in the 2v2 mode with Mystical, because I think they played the 2v2 mode earlier to... No, it was Forky and Luca. Anyways, we'll see. It could be Forky Luca, Forky Mystical. I wouldn't be surprised to play Forky if we go back to 2v2 in Game 6. That is, if we even get to Game 6. There may not be a Game 6 in this series, because right now, it is CMZ who's going to take match point in this series. We've been here twice already today, Fox, and both times the series has ended in 5, so... in 5, so we'll see if today is going to be the same as before, but we go back to 3v3, the mode that so far has been won by CMZ. If they win it again, they'll be in the top 8.
Yeah, we've not really had any Game 6 or Game 7 drama over here on this series, and it looks like there is another shot at a 5-game series here as CMZ in full control right now. 1,000 points for Zolfi, very nearly 1,000 for Muff. You combine their scores, they're over 2K. What a game from those two. Have a bow, gentlemen. They withstood the early attack. You know, it's very easy to start to panic. You go down 2-0 in that game. Nope, 7 unanswered goals after that later, and CMZ is on match point. They're on the precipice of day 3.
Yeah, it is. That's all that we're coming down to now, is these very last few games. Potentially, at this point, it's a must-make comeback for the Ouroboros. Coming into this tournament, I think a lot of people favored them to make a run into the top 8. As well, they came into this thing, you'd have to say again, heavily favored to make themselves known. And really, I find it surprising coming in this thing, because again, they came into this thing, the Orbos, as the number 5 seed in this tournament, so their run wasn't exactly going to be easy for them. They were the number 5 seed, they were the number 4 seed coming in today. So the Orbos have really underperformed, I think, what people expect of them, and now they may not even be here tomorrow to play in the top 8, so talk about underperforming if they can't even make the top 8, but the nice thing is there's still time left in the series for them to make a comeback, but they're going to need to turn things around quickly and soon because, yeah, as you said, 3v3 has not exactly looked good for them today.
No, they're going to need to win not 1 but 2 threes games if the Orbos do want to move on. Slight little hiccup in the server, it looks like, so a minor, very, very small delay in the start of this game, but we are here in the great country of France with the Eiffel Tower staring down. Is this the final resting place of the Orbos in this series, or will we be able to figure that out? I don't know. You might have some issues with Nick as the game has started. It looks like, yes, we are underway. Yes, we do. We did have a just minor server hiccup. Those things happen. They tend to happen in some of the worst times. It definitely picked a bad time starting in elimination game 5. Speaking of elimination, Forky just got eliminated fresh off of his rest there in between games. He gets a demo. Welcome back to the series and welcome to the game Mystical. It's 1-0. The Orbos strike first.
Is this the first time the Orbos have scored first in any of these 3v3 games? I think it is. I want to say it is. Fox, you can correct me if I'm wrong because you have a better memory than I do, but
I do believe you are correct.
I can't remember the Orbos scoring first. They've always been a team that feels like they go behind in this mode, so they need something good to happen for them in threes, and at least scoring the first goal at least gives them the confidence that they can at least hold this lead. Of course, they're going to need more than this. We always saw from last game, CMZ are more than capable of making comebacks, multi-goal comebacks even.
Indeed, Zulfi going to reach his hand in, gives it to Muff. He just got bumped. He got roughed off of that ball. Now Luca has got a little bit of time. He's going to go over the first defender. Second defender will race back. Chance for Muff to make a play. He doesn't get a piece, and Mystical, who was just a part of a very tough game number 2, he has a pair of goals. Just like that, it's a 2-0 lead for the Orbos, but Sporty, 2-0 lead didn't mean jack last game. We'll have to see if the Orbos can do better closing it out here in game 5.
Yeah, you said it as well. 2-0 means just about nothing in a match like this, so we go onward, but with it being 2-0, you like your chances for the Orbos, but inside the first minutes, they've still got some work to do. They've still got some time to play with. They've still got some issues to figure out. Reminder that, again, even if they do win Game 5, it would be the Game 6 choice from CMZ. So I'm sure for the Orbos as well, they're just looking to get the win here, get themselves to what would likely be 2v2, I would have to imagine, and into what could be the later part of the series. Every single match today for them has gone at least 6 games. So for the Orbos, they're used to being under the pressure of a late series. They've had to do that already a couple times today, but CMZ hold possession, and even though they may have started off weak, again, you mentioned how this team has been able to make comebacks, how later in the game it just feels like they get better and better. They're starting to win the midfield now a little bit more. They're starting to get more room. It feels like the Orbos, that grip on this game is starting to loosen a little bit, and that's where CMZ can really counter.
Speaking of the counter, he is going to be Cat carrying this one upfield, knocked away into the corner by Forky. We've seen Cat and Forky meet together a lot in this series because they did play the ones together. And it is going to be Forky. Asta leaves this for Mystical. Mystical has been the goal scorer. He's going to set up this one. It's an open goal. Not exactly the prettiest shot, but it is effective. Forky puts them up 3-0. The Orbos in full control here in Game 5.
Yeah, what a showing here for the Orbos. 3-0 here, you said it. I wouldn't say it's full control. There was a couple moments beforehand where it felt shaky, but for the most part, control in this game. They've struggled in threes as well, so to see them be this good at this dominant in that mode, it's got to be such a good sign for them, because reminder, if they ought to take this series, they got to win another 3v3 game. That would be Game 7. So just getting at least a win in 3v3 gives them the confidence that they can win more games in 3v3. Of course, CMZ is still not done. They're looking for more. Luca's looking for more. He had a weak game, a weak last game, so this is his chance to show up and prove that that Game 4 was just an off game for him. Else, well, we'll have to see how he performs if he were to be a player to show up in Game 6. That one pinched across. Zulfi cleared back by Luca. Cat to the corner. Cleared around the corner. It will be Mystical again. Gets by one. Mystical. Off will hold on, but not very well. Forky's challenged by Zulfi. Luca pinched away. Cat gets by one, still Cat on the ball. He's got Muff waiting. The infield pass connects, but it won't be good enough, and it will instead be left out for the Aura Bros to make something of it.
You know, we talked about earlier on the attack Cat. We got to revisit it. I think Cat was actually kind of hindered by the game 4 not being able to play, as it looks like Cat has struggled to get involved here in game 5. It had his hands all over the first 2 3v3 wins. He was demoing. He had a ton of goals, a ton of great plays, and Cat has been a little bit quiet so far here in this game. So I'm not sure if the time in between series, well, go ahead, prove me wrong, Cat. Do it right as I'm talking about you. Never mind, Cat's here, and they have awoken. A minute 17 left, 2 goals still needed.
Well, as you know, cats sometimes need to sleep for like 16 hours a day, so that does happen at times. But we are... but as you said, yeah, you called for him, he showed up, but yeah, he's so far up to that point been surprisingly quiet, and that's the difference it feels for CMZ. A lack of Cat is the difference right now, as, oh my, what a dunk from Sophie. Cat was ready for it, but not ready enough for that one. And, I mean, CMZ need to go for those kind of plays. They're low on time. As a pad touch for Forky. It's Sophie, and if he can get here, oh, he does, and it bounced up horribly. Up goes Cat. Muff, surely he scores from here. Oh, he went right forward. He had Sophie open. So surprised he doesn't pass in that position. I think if he does, it's an open net for Zolfi, but he went for the glory, and he's going to pay the price. A shot that gets saved.
Cat up to the ceiling, going to drop it down, fakes the flip. Does get one defender with that, but the problem, there are 2 more waiting in the Aura Bros blue. Cat's going to take this one again, and those defenders, nice positioning so far for the Aura Bros, not willing to give up this lead. They've had to fight and claw their way for this lead here in game number 5. They are not willing to give it up easily. Here comes Muff. Shot opportunity does go wide. CMZ has had their chances. They just haven't been able to put them in the back of the net. Cat very nearly does. Here comes Muff. What a save from Mystical, keeping the 2-goal lead intact.
Well, that may have just saved them in this game. It will be now the call for CMZ, what they would like to do in game 6. We'll wait and watch, but it is a series that is falling very, very close. It's going to be 2v2. I don't think any of us are surprised that it's 2v2. The question now is, who does the Aura Bros play? They played Luca and Mystical before. I would not be surprised if Forky gets his time in the 2v2 mode next, but it will just be kind of wait and see what will happen. But I expect Forky's going to play. The question will be, will he play with Luca, who he's played with, I think, in the 2s mode for a good amount of today? Will he play with Mystical, who I thought looked a lot better in the 2v2 game than Luca?
It does appear that Mystical will be Forky's duo here, as Luca has dropped out. Cat has also dropped out of the lobby, so no surprise that the duo of Zolfi and Muff that worked so well in game 4 will go at it here in game 6. And if you win game 6, if you are the Aura Bros, you're able to solve the 2v2 woes that were thrown at you in game 4. All of a sudden, it comes down to 3v3, which we've seen both teams able to win up until this point. So this is the crucial part of the series. Right now, still in the driver's seat, I think it is CMZ. They are a win away. They are still in control of the series, and they are in a mode that they fared incredibly well in game 4. We'll have to see if Forky can be that X factor.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he was the X factor in the 1v1, but that was sort of expected. This is a much tougher mode and a much closer one. Muff and Zolfi said it, with a better team. They dominated in the 2v2 mode previously. Can they book their ticket to Sunday on Neo Tokyo? We'll just have to wait and find out, but for Forky and for Mystical, the big question is going to come down to mistakes. Well, Luca made a lot of them, I think, in the 2v2 game. Mystical wasn't exactly mistake-free. It was a duo that couldn't seem to break out, couldn't seem to make anything happen, couldn't seem to, you know, play a careful game, a careful enough game against Zolfi and co. And they're still going to need to keep up here, but here goes Muff, one-on-one with Forky. And we'll see again. You said it, Forky. Can he be the X Factor? I think he has to be the X Factor. Not that he can be, he has to be, or else I don't see them winning here. He has to be the difference maker, or else it's going to be Muff and Zolfi through to the top 8.
Indeed, Mystical had a phenomenal game 5. He did score a couple goals, had that game-saving save as well. So Mystical feeling pretty good about himself, at least he ought to. After that, they are still on elimination point, so I don't know exactly how far the good feeling does go. This is a touch from Mystical, will lose out on the boost and the ball. But he did get a piece of Zolfi, which will slow down the offense of CMZ for just a moment. Here comes Muff. He has missed the ball. Zulfi back with no boost. Muff with a crucial boost grab there. Will leave it in a 1v1 scenario, and Mystical, all of a sudden, what a flip. Down to ground he goes and into the nets.
Yeah, what a showing as well. Big time to move, big time to play, and a big time to see if you can be a difference maker. Already a goal for Mystical. And the Aura Bros, if this lead would have last, would be in Game 7 in the 3v3 mode that they just took a win in Game 5. 3-1 down in this series. There still seems to be hope for them in this game. Mystical will go again. Forky now to take it. It's a shot to the bottom corner. Sophie's got there. Muff chasing after him. It's nobody back. They both pushed. Here goes Mystical. Flip reset and saved. Muff gets there from all the way on the floor. He had to jump up and challenge him. It's such a difficult play to make. But the Aura Bros still on the offensive. Not for long though. Sophie on one. Sophie looking to get rid of Forky. It's Mystical at the spawn. It's Forky who's been bumped. But still, the Aura Bros doing so well. A much more careful showing. That's not careful from Sophie. A careless turn. And Mystical will take it easily.
What a game that Mystical is having so far. Able to escape a couple demos, keep himself in good position, and then a flick over the defender right back into the goal. 2v2 didn't work out too well the first go around, but Mystical is back on his revenge arc. You're asking if Forky was the X Factor. Mystical is the man to watch. He is the man with the ball. Musty towards the goal. He's got it.
They won't ask how they go in, just that they do go in. Little bounce off the crossbar. A little bit of a fluky goal, but you take them. And I think it's well-deserved for Mystical. I thought this game would be the game for Forky to show up. Mystical has made a complete 180 from his previous performance. So much better looking, so much more comfortable. You wonder if just having the addition of Forky there allows him to just be able to do what he wants. Oh, what a shot from Muff. He gets one back, and CMZ have not given up hope in Game 6.
My word, off the ceiling, saves his flip all the way down, and what a direct into the nets from Muff. That is a huge goal, because we're not even at halftime yet, Sporty. CMZ is on the board. A 2-goal lead we've seen so far in this series can easily be eroded away by the opponents, and just like that, 2 goals becomes 1. It's 3-2. CMZ off the wifty from both the Aura Bros.
And we might have another game like this again. I mean, it was 2 goals down back in the last 2v2 in, what was it, Game 4? And they made the comeback. It's now 3 goals down here in Game 6, and they might be making the comeback. Muff and Zulfi just seem to be a second-half team. Here they go for 3. It's missed there, but it will still be played up. Mystical, look at how high up Forky is. He has a lot of faith that Mystical's going to win this challenge. He does, but doesn't get further than that. Long touch to the net. Forky, oh, he missed it! Zulfi's going to take this one! Forky missed it completely. We haven't mentioned him much this game, and we've mentioned him now for the wrong reasons. He just doesn't read it correctly. And Zulfi, that might be the easiest goal he's had all tournament.
Oh, it's the unfortunate, like, the last 25 seconds have been incredibly unfortunate for the Aura Bros. After an incredible start, once again, the 2 struggles have reared their ugly head once again. Now Forky trying to make amends for that touch. Zulfi wins the challenge across. Will leave the boost to his teammate. No touch for Muff. Gives Forky a chance to go, but Zulfi will take it right off his car. Sending it in deep. Big demo there as Zulfi eliminates Mystical, but Muff has played it literally where Forky's waiting. So it does end up being a defensive play, but they got to be careful here. We've seen mistakes bite Aura Bros a few times so far. They have to try and get back to the basics here. 3-3, make it 4-3. It's another loose defensive play from the Aura Bros, and Zulfi punishes.
And CMZ may not be too far away from a top 8 berth. Time is on the minimum now. And with so little to play for, so much left that you could reasonably see given from the Aura Bros. It's now or never. Oh, it's Zulfi now who gets another one. Well, it feels oh too similar and oh too painful for the Aura Bros. Such a solid start to the 2v2 mode, but it's Muff and Zulfi goal after goal, and it's Mystical and Forky now who are on the desperation push.
We saw 7 unanswered goals in that game for Sporty. 5 unanswered goals for the CMZ side. Maybe not done yet. Forky's going to try and get his hand in on the act. He had a great 1v1 game, but so far Mystical seems to be the only one of the 3 Aura Bros to have success here in the 2v2. As Luca had a rough game 4, we have seen Forky have a rough game. He's chasing Muff into the corner. No touch to be had. It's a good win by Zolfi. This is just going to be time eating away on the clock. Forky avoids contact. Able to get the ball across. Here comes Mystical. Full field to work with. Only a 2/3 of a tank. Goes by 1. Zolfi with a good save. Rebound. Open goal. We're not done just yet.
No, they still have something to give here. This game is not over. And what I find so impressive is, you said it, with how many goals they've given up. In Game 4, they didn't have a comeback. They never had an ability to bounce back into this one. Now in Game 6, there's still some fight left in the Aura Bros. With a minute to play, a goal is needed. It'll be Mystical. Gets by Muff. Mystical on 1. It's Zolfi left to battle. It's on. It's in. 10 goals combined. Tied at 5 each.
Mighty Mystical carries his momentum straight through Zolfi. Not much you can do there. It is the battle of the 7 hundos, over 700 points for Zolfi and Mystical. Neither team wants to give up this game easily. The difference between Game 4, after 7 unanswered goals, the Aura Bros went quietly into the night. Here on Neo Tokyo, they are alive and well, but still a lot to play for in these final 40 seconds. The next goal very well could be the series winning goal or the Game 7 heading to deciding goal. So we have got a lot to work with here. An awkward play there ends up in Mystical's hands, and he can clear. Forky is so far away from this ball. Should be an easy clear for Muff, and it is. Here comes Zolfi. What can he do? Back wall covered. Mystical is just out of boost. He can't follow it up. Gonna be back. Final 10 seconds. Sporty, a back and forth game, and Game 7 or a Day 3 on the line.
DMZ are 1 goal away. Aura Bros have sent this game to overtime. They were on such little boost in the end. Mystical was racing around the net trying to find anything to work with here. It'll be Muff. It'll be open. It'll be game, series, and top 8 confirmed.
What a game, what a showing from both teams. Aura Bros, they fought so hard, and it's a kickoff play that Muff, he hits the pitching wedge over the defenders off the crossbar, and it's a tap-in touch from him. CMZ, the winners of both 2v2 games and 2 3v3 games. That's enough to get you to Day 3.
Yeah, it is. What a showing. Day 3 secured now for CMZ. Top 8 secured for them as well. Our match just so happens to be the last one as well. That is the end of today. Day 2 has been wild to say the very least. Our first time getting to see the best of 7s in this tournament. And boy, was it worth it here. I honestly thought we were going to see Game 7. I thought we were going to see a Game 7 there, but I forgot. The CMZ team has that comeback mentality. I don't know how you see teams do it so often. Be able to come back and be able to essentially say, hey, we may have not played amazingly. We may not have played amazingly at the start, but we find a way back in. You saw that twice in the 2v2 mode here for CMZ. They just have that ability to bounce back. We even saw them come back from a goal down, what was it, in Game 5. So a lot of these games were comebacks for CMZ, but it just comes to show that you never give up. And even with that first goal scored, sometimes statistics aren't always truthful.
Absolutely. What a phenomenal run for Day 2 of the 3-day tournament that we have here. It has been a great night of Rocket League. We didn't quite get Game 7 on our stream, but there were a couple of Game 7s sprinkled throughout. The run does end for the Aura Bros, and you have to do wonder, had Kevin been in that series, would it have been different? But by this point, does not really matter. CMC, absolute dogs that series. Great play, great win, and a great choice to go back to 2s and win the series off.
Yeah, it is, and that means we do have our top 8 confirmed, by the way. All matches have concluded here. So our top 8 for going 2-0, that'll be in the upper bracket. Well, I guess they'll have the extra life starting out Day 3. It'll be G7 Filler, Prime Ddop, NTX Esports, YouTube Shorts FC, Fu 2 and 1, who will be starting in the lower portion for Day 1. It's CMZ, QAP, Desire, and CityBoyyyyJJ. Tomorrow is a hybrid bracket. It's a system where the teams that have gone 2-0 get an extra life for their first series and their first series only, but for the most part, it's single elimination. Seeing these 8 teams go through, Fox, hearing what 8 teams have made it through, seeing the results that you just saw on your screen, are there any surprises today? Any storylines you think we should talk about today? Maybe not even surprises, just storylines to talk about.
Well, I do think obviously the Aura Bros going out without making day 3, that is a little bit surprising, but after seeing how CMZ played, I mean, it would have taken a great series from them. And you know, they had their struggles today. That of course was going to be the difference. The top 4 seeds, I mean, they made easy work. That is expected. Those teams are incredible. It will be very exciting once we start to get those meetings, kind of like, you know, the atoms colliding. Should be fireworks tomorrow once those top teams start to meet one another. But you know, honestly, it was just a great tournament, great series all around today so far here in the progression of it. And I thought, you know, the top 8 teams absolutely deserving, each and every one of them. There's no surprises for me.
No, I wouldn't say there's too many surprises. I think the big surprise is the Orbo is not making it in, being as high seeded as they are. But as we saw from their match today against CMZ, they didn't earn their spot. CMZ did, and you know, it comes down now at this point in the tournament, not to what your seeding is, but just how good you are. How good you are on the day. I think we've got our top 8 teams here of this tournament. I think we've got the best 8 teams in this tournament at this point, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time will be day 3 of this action. It will be the hybrid bracket, so that $600 prize pool is still up for grabs. Tomorrow will determine who will be the champion of the Paradise Cup 5. Before we end the day here, before we end the night, Fox, is there any last things you want to say? Anything you want to mention to kind of close out what we have seen today?
Oh, congrats to obviously the top 8 teams that qualified. Congrats to the top 16. Making top 16 in a tournament with over 70 teams is not easy. I mean, that's a gauntlet to run through. But, you know, shout out to our producer, Nick. He's in the background. He makes magic happen. He has been here all night. Might not get to be on the screen, but does a phenomenal job. Shout out to you, Sporty. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Of course, the sponsors. We've got Nameless. We've got CPL Cross Progression League. You know, this sort of tournament, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement. And, you know, we get to see this quality of Rocket League come from it. It doesn't happen without all the staff and all the admin behind the scenes.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't happen without that. Well, thank you to all of you who've been watching tonight. Can be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the hybrid bracket from Fox, Nick and Sias in production, from the rest of the staff here for Paradise Cup 5. I'm Sporty FC. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow on Championship Sunday.
As the stars were dancing in that line, past that we could never run. Oh, they were dancing way up high. Stars were dancing in that line. Future we will never run. Dirt on our feet was bone dry. It was bone dry. Come over here. I see it in your eyes, I feel it in the air. I know you're going through it, you know I've been there. But life is like a highway, it ain't always fair. It's how you persevere, chasing the wind.